I got gay, shorties flying rich, Ellen DeGeneres. I make money and splurge, DJ the generous. I make money on the low, spend it in public, push it up protocol. I'm a fly individual, Victoria Kimani. Rokoto, we killing it, blowing up. Tierra de Fuego, living up, got a stack. I got the pesos.
Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang Delhi high, now we come and pick them up, said. Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang Delhi high, now we come and be my Mercedes.
We've been lit. Damn, you catch the drift. Living the fast life took you drift. Sing my name like Taylor Swift. She like my stick when I let it hit. She a bad bitch and yeah, she thick. I call her porridge cause she thick. When she bust it, gets me geeked. She gets wetter, lick. Like a dog, I'm getting geeked. I bust it up all on her tits. Then she suck it, she my freak. On her knees, she gets me weak. Yeah, that tongue ring got the grip. BDSM, she lets me whip. She's so feisty, bites my lip. I gotta see her every week. She gotta see me every week. Damn, we tripping, it's so real. We're just vibing, and it's lit.
Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang Delhi high, now we come and pick them up, said. Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang fuego. Yeah, gang Delhi high, now we come and be my Mercedes.
Stream music.
Psycho.
Toxic.
Check it.
You know, ranking.
Check. Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, Nikki Sense nasikia kukamata manzi. Si Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi. Zimenishika, nimetoka Ngara. Zimenishika nataka wakushukisha. Zimenishika nataka rungu za misho. Nakauka na njaa, menta kushibisha. Utashiba miezi 9, miuchimba futi 6. Aki mama 6, hata tuku 6. Come home kwa yangu Mona Lisa. Tukwa tunarembesa, mtani ukiringa. Uko na rangi ya dhao na upenda kipesa. Vile tunatesa, tabaki umeteseka. Napenda ukicheka, nikikubongesha na junsha kupata di mwisho wa kalenda. Si Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi. Si Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi.
Nikki Sense, navuta na mpenzi. Nikki Mede, zimeshika vishenzi. Urombo sana zitingisha upesi. Kapongia keni safina kachapa jua utensils. Akiseti, yoni daruka penis. Ana mahagazi na bounce kani tennis. Nina nduthi, yumbe baka ni Bentley. Mbia di kwa keja nika kachape deadly. Anafika, napenda flame weza jo. Misi yo kuonko, lazima nitaweza jo. Kukachimba, nizameka jeneza. Tingeus ni manduru na majina zebeneza jo.
Si Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi. Si Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi.
Nikki Sense, imevuta kia bobo ama kia ras. Kwanza nikiwa mzozo na njugu ya dasi. Unichanga mshobongo inapaki umejazio. Cheki Nikki Sense, mukikula kani mejificha. Kumdaradara hedi akini ivisha. Chain mtu mbili jo hakuna kupitisha. Ni mimi na Mary na Jane. Wakishika na wote wawili insane.
Wezi misbehave, kuna bakora sapa. Hey life, wezi nipata nimezuba kwa bar. Relax, hapo napigwa chobo na refa. Relax, Nikki Sense kwa hewa.
Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi. Si Nikki Sense, joki meni drive crazy. Si Nikki Sense, nasikia kukamata manzi.
It's a Madonna on the beat.
House of Badass.
Mavo on the beat.
Budo uko hapa na demi yako amelaliwa. Kama yuko kwako anakulamiwa. Jama jwali zama Dia kamwagiwa. Usishike moto hauna maziwa. Ako na kasponyo ujambiwa. Sponyo jwali zama Dia kamwagiwa. Ya ukuchocha hadi akitokanga renda mboka. Ako na kabuda kamenona. wako beza na pewa bia na choma. Na juu ya utaka kwenda coast, utampelekaje buda na unado? Shuku sana kikushwa na lala home. Wewe amini buda yake ndo mpea malone. Azi, mbona unachochwa nikamse aje soma? Najua unampenda mbaya lakini we si fala. Yeye ni mteja alisema nanga chaja. Niko shua kwa jama kwa kitanda. Ndo uko hapa na demi yako amelaliwa. Kama yuko kwako anakulamiwa. Jama jwali zama, zamani zama dia kamwagiwa. Usishike moto hauna maziwa. Akona kasponyo ujambiwa. Sponyo jwali zama, zamani zama dia kamwagiwa.
Yeah, si hapa na ijo kuna maneno. Ama buda sijui ni mapepo. Iko usizine price tagadi majengo. Bagain alafu wache dipo. Iki tulenze time ya colonization. Adisa hii time ya coronization. Ni so sad njeri alitekwa na pension. Na akavinyo na kakago bila tension. Zamani zama za kirandi. Kira zamani zama kiwandete.
Udoko hapa na demi yako amelaliwa. Kama yuko kwako anakulamiwa. Jama jwali zama, zamani zama dia kamwagiwa. Usishike moto hauna maziwa. Akona kasponyo ujambiwa. Sponyo jwali zama, zamani zama dia kamwagiwa.
If I had $1 for every woman I'm in love with, I will be rich. I will be rich. Akiwa bipolar na kuna sola na sija kula basi na mditch. Akina mditch. Wambie basi. Zama deka mwagiwa venye nika check Zama deka mwagiwa venye nika fupi na kanyagiwa. Keja ni tajiri na tarajiwa. Koro kiwa nyongi utabakishiwa. Right man wako kudenja. Na wapanga ka 3 CD changer. Ndo nicheze Iron Man kwa Avengers. Zalisha wa junior di tujaze census.
Asichana Nairobi ngori brade wewe. Ngori jo tachinjwa brade. Amo tachinja.
Bad man thing. Mbogi Genje.
Toniyo. Ati nije mzing sahi niko ching ching. Lugha ya kimombo adi niko jing jing. Nimenyanya niko dim dim. King matululu ting ting. Ade badman niko pin pin. Wash ako 46 skija di kwara. Kabla nikuchai nikupeleke na mtara. Gwala zied dala Gala woto takudara. RIP Vasco ski na dirash. Moment of silence tuwashie shash. Juzi walimok na tileo wamepacha.
Kujambaya ni kugeuze mboga. Na nimebonda vile niko mogoka. Machingri bado zinacheza kwa mongo. Na kucheza mbaya ukizidi kutafa.
Tuko nzakwa wako shomwi na mambogi wako mamoshi. Tuko nzakwa wako shomwi na mariambes wako mamoshi. Lukudiriba toja imenywa kungira. Alele leo kusere kwa pira. Na machaji leo tuko maondira. Makangede ni manduki za mafila. Shashola ndo siezi ishibila. kakidim na kiliet na warena kwa kichuom na wavutia mbegega raundi itabidi wameteveva
kujambaya ni kugeuze mboga na nimebonda vile niko moboka machingri bado zinacheza kwa mongo na kucheza mbaya ukizidi kutafa
tuko nzakwa wako shomwi na mambogi wako mamoshi tuko nzakwa wako shomwi na mariambes wako mamoshi
mukamilisha zangu mafisa slippery wanalia niko magrease niko full tank kweongeza pace imtamase tumechanja na ni venye niko ganja minjodonga ule mrui na mgenje guji tena sana kuwakaza ndiyo mboka kila gizgiz mimhad kafuliza weokoa guz na mahedi ziko kwa kebi niko rampage za weekendi kanibox wauza mabila expense aluwanda na lupita usizundishie team kujambaya ni kugeuze mboga na nimebonda vile niko moboka machingri bado zinacheza kwa mongo na kucheza mbaya ukizidi kutafa
tuko nzakwa wako shomwi na mambogi wako mamoshi tuko nzakwa wako shomwi na mariambes wako mamoshi
kwa sinting wacha tifla na maefla wamemokre kwa mashedi ni mafozi kidale ya wabling na mandunya mangoi kuwakata na manyoi wafisa kujibambisha na roko matibien miwatekesa maombli makuenga wakiriau magekenge furda mageto yutu wanasofa wajaja ratings ni mogadha jabayuni topatings magekenge
sina mbogi jeri jote walikangwa Far East Moria zenza alimangwa Damfist mamu wako kinidis SUAD ADA aliti ati Gang zako vaku bang shit Keng wakeridho masid Ket doba na makali Nganya uko area ni safari rally
Non-stop music.
Oh my God! Yo son, you're listening to www.roadradio.live.
Lazima hakuna statement wanaume ndika na uchungu kama kuambia dem so ukuji unakuja ama ukuji
leo yezi make leo yezi make
ante nini
leo yezi make
unakuja ama ukuji
leo yezi make
wow
leo yezi make
ante nini
leo yezi make
unakuja ukuji ati wezi make na natoka kamkunji niko na wawili na siwotea wakuji moja kwa matatu za rongai kama tunji wachaga maneno na mariba za upuzi kama uko na ball nilirusha kaya ruji stekagi machura mina kwaga tu mchuzi siati siezi kuachana tulipatana juzi Hey, nitakusuka mara ngapi kwenye nimetoka unadhani kuna wangapi ulipenda celeb wanapigwa manjapi hata upate mimba wezi shika mpaka napi wow
unakuja ama ukuji
leo yezi make leo yezi make leo yezi make
unakuja ama ukuji
Magic's anger, what up?
Asoki nitoka mini badman sitantu Judas walai vile mtoto ameromaga staki goosebump alinipea all night till the morning mimi nikampea shashamani ndio aliniharibu na maganji kama mtoto alikuwa na zazi nilimshow will you kiss me Avya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney Jali story ya moshi ya ni chimney Nilimshow will you kiss me
for real
Avya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney Jali story ya moshi jo ni chimney
My baby wanna kiss me My hater wako wengi na ni risky Yo taxi ninafanya mpaka siski whisky Na mix team chicks biz miski ziki na kukakeja ni issue Kwanza kama msupa na jo umebeba uzito Tunawakera by default Trap niggas tunawekea benga kwa disco
na wakibonga tunawalenga waliko. Mini nasonga ama meno na mission. Funny niggas tunawakompea na mamito. Sitaji bima mi neza tokea na maulipo. Style fisa kishoka kipuma ati nshampita jumi staki maruma. Steamy kisha tunakoa nati na gunga. Nasikia ma kingfisher ni mapanti room.
William show will you kiss me love ya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney jali story ya moshi ya ni chimney William show will you kiss me love ya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney jali story ya moshi jo ni chimney oya ska uskini lidhani nimeamoka Mtoya limocho akanitoka alafu akancheza uski kasoka mapenzi korazon mikadhani kwa mboka na I wish I knew kila time niliishi maisha new mindio fan nilibaki still man new ali siku easy my friend ni few nilisikia akisema story ya mchuma nikamshow niko na M16 alafu akanishow that the end memkill akanishow umejipenju na dai kuifeel na kani corona nisijali atai heal nishindage kwa vaite bila tailipa nikamshow on my knees ati yani George Flow niliachaga kanisa nilimshow will you kiss me love ya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney jali story ya moshi ya ni chimney nilimshow will you kiss me love ya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney jali story ya moshi ya ni chimney
Sisi nkutangiwa whisky Kudini afande niko frisky Sisi nyonga skoza lynchin Kuja kijani niko na kimpinski fitri Nimekuchizi design za kupiga mate kwa ketepa Uso ya mkao na mwili atekata veta Muko gopa na joneza mperemba Yoro itumia lapto weke kwa jeneza But ni use hizo tools na miundaleta Mwipiga mate kabla buti ya jateleza Naishi hairo nasikia unaishi fedha Stuling unarizi useti kivela Nikupe tacha jangili wa mtu kisibaridi Akanicheki kaldem Akaisi vile mina hisi
nilimshow will you kiss me love ya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney jali story ya moshi ya ni chimney nilimshow will you kiss me love ya utoi twende Disney bila meni kunywa ni sharibu kidney jali story ya moshi jo ni chimney
Magic's anger on the beat.
This is Rogue Radio.
They call me Menace, Menace himself. Good acting bud. Niko madawa zimelipukana hapa kana msupana nishika lipu ndana nime nyonji nasikia nkanta mwaga joma ngoko ni wale wenye bonge la haga we sio ufala wako fitina akenani jona dai hizo itina kwa kawaida Menace na kwa gadhitima na joji ushaju amini hitilafu funga duka nipe dhudha mutekaga wale waroro wadunda wale wenye wana matidini kama tunda jumtani mimzing mindo wao buba funga duka nipe dhudha mnigi sezi tamani mi wanakutana ni upenda kuwatekea gadunda jumtani mimzing mindo wao buba kuja mtani kusese si unajua wendo mtaa mangu baby na kutambua tuchome shashki upedi zikiungua penda usipende jo lazima utanisugua juna kubamba yongoza si untole mbo imeganda tucheze na vdole rausha haga amani kojole leo na kupanga tulia kwa mpole funga duka nipe dhudha utekaga wale waroro wadunda wale wenye wana matidini kama tunda jumtani mimzing mindo wao buba funga duka nipe dhudha mnigi sezi tamani mi wanakutana ni upenda kuwatekea gadunda jumtani mimzing mindo wao buba meza pitu ni kupige vitu mjulu Lulu bang size ni ile ya jitu. Shimo iko setendo mutoleaga kutu za huku. Music piganga tuputupu na form ikijipa mina changa mkia. Manjege mipedi siwezi ofia. Kasibangi ni fegi ni nawashia na raundi. Nisicheki nishawambia. Funga duka nipe dhudha. Utekaga wale waroro wadunda. Wale wenye wana matidini kama tunda. Jumtani mimzing mindo wao buba. Funga duka nipe dhudha. Mdigi sezi tamani mi wana kutana. Ni upenda kuwatekea gadunda. Jumtani mimzing mindo wao buba. Kuja mtani kusese si unajua. Wendo mtaa mwangu baby na kutambua. Tuchome shashki upedi zikiungua.
Aten on the beat.
Juna kubamba yongoza si untole. Mbo imeganda tucheze na vdole. Rausha haga amani kojole. Leo na kupanga tulia kwa mpole. Akenani jona dai hizo itina. Akenani jona dai hizo itina. Akenani jona dai hizo itina. Funga duka nipe dhudha.
We interrupt this program to bring you...
Let's do all the drugs.
I don't really want to.
Fucking smash, man. The weed's too strong.
Whoa, you're never gonna believe what time.
The curriculum.
Get the light shit out of the way.
Right, indeed.
Let's do some drugs, man. Welcome to the
420. Let's do
I'm
all
back,
the drugs.
baby.
Hey.
I'm back,
We'd
baby.
missed you. And then you've come. Man's like Dizzo. He's just made himself scarce, eh? I hope
We can't function in the same show anymore.
Nah. Seemingly, moja akiingia, mwingine anatoka.
Kasi ingekama ngebaki.
Ni kama. Yeah, I suspect we would have had him here, giving us we're back on the 420 show.
Talking about dicks all day.
All fucking day. With
Double
his big
D.
mic.
We're talking about King Double D. Dick driven.
Did you see how lost on the show he was yesterday?
Yeah,
I loved it.
I saw yesterday.
I loved it. If there's something I enjoyed about yesterday's show was running circles around Dizzo. Literal circles. Of course, alikuwa maji. For anyone who did not notice.
For anyone who thought he was.
No. I like to say he was adequately incentivized.
What incentive? I'm dying for a drink. What you drink? What you drink?
The drinky. We don't have
Kidri.
The kidri, man. The kidri today ain't there.
Which is okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Anyway,
we locomote, we move, regardless.
So.
Yeah.
So have you been muted? It's been
Oh my
God. Hey, hata
God.
Friday kukuja. Shit.
Friday ukukam. Friday nilikuwa. Friday nilikuwa, man. Yeah, hey. Friday nilikuwa Gucci.
Oh, yes.
We was staying Gucci.
The Gucci lounge.
Oh man, it was good.
Yeah,
we intend for it to be better.
It was already quite good, actually.
Yes, it was already quite good, but we wanted to be out of the water.
Smashing.
And we want to blow it, yeah? But before we actually go back into what we were doing last week, quick reminder for guys to catch us tomorrow at Zipang Irish Bar and Lounge. It's going down. Come through for offers on cocktails, offers on shots, and offers on tankery. Dizzo cannot say that.
Dizzo cannot say that.
Yeah, anasemanga tu matangore.
Amezoea kugla. Talking of which,
mtu wa kugla hezi jua tankery.
Shimzi, what happened to kugla in this studio? Iliban?
We
banned kugla.
We
or we upgraded.
Seemingly. Kuna strong beer siku hizi. You've not had?
No, kugla is
it's the ultimate.
It's incomparable. It's incomparable.
I think we actually, Eric, I think you're misleading Jav. We banned it so that we get a sponsor for Kugla. Isn't it? Yes, the Kugla sponsor is what we're waiting for.
Okay.
Watu wa Keroche, watu wa EABL, please. As we don't want those expensive beers you're giving, as we just want Kugla. Because that's what's up.
Next to our place. Our place.
Our place.
Now here they're opening a brewery.
Shut up.
Northlands.
Wow.
The biggest in Eastern Central Africa.
That's gonna be something.
Something.
I think
what azikunywa? Mr. Zikunywa.
No, mimi tazikunywa.
Siwezi zikunywa.
Badly. Kwa nini? Na zinaundwa hapo kwa uhuru. Si Northlands ni kwa uhuru.
We are what's that thing Raila told us?
Oh, what did Raila tell us?
What? When he told us to leave Safaricom.
What? Abscond. What?
It even had a logo like this.
I'm forgetting.
Resist.
Oh, resist.
Hao watu wamefanya maziwa, wamefanya waru, You'll see a big factory of Waru in Ruiru in no time. That's how they're harassing Keroche. They're harassing Keroche because now we know why, because they're opening a brewery. So Keroche has been shit all this time.
Hey, lakini wacha nikwambia hapo wamechora. For me actually, when you say the proximity of
Iko hapo Northlands. Iko hapo Northlands.
Hey, Northlands mahali iko.
Yeah.
Proximity mimi naona tu hizo joint zote zinakuaga tu huko kwetu bypass kwa nyama. I'm like all those joints wanaenda kuchukua hiyo market yote.
The whole of fucking Kiambu.
Yeah. Because if there's one thing I've actually noticed about Uhuru's enterprises, let's say the Kenyatta enterprises.
Uhuru ana enterprises.
Okay. Again, the Kenyatta enterprises. Let's attach them to the family. Yeah. The one thing I've noticed about them is they all dwell on mass. And let me tell you, I have even said here to radio, ile siku tutalanduko bypass kwa mass. We will have hit a whole different market. So them, they don't focus on
niche things.
At your up market, your high class, middle to lower class.
Yeah, maziwa, waru, nini.
Yeah, those fast moving consumer goods. And for me, I won't be shocked if they stop. They won't be aging. But Jav, that's very unfortunate because there are a lot of Kenyan breweries popping up right now.
They'll all be killed.
That's
exactly where I'm going with this story.
I'm like, wow.
They're killing enterprise so that
originals,
like right now, I think milk was banned. You can't buy milk no more. And they own all the milk factories. So all the milk they've netted. So Waru is in the plan. I can bet you. That's why Waru is illegal
right now.
Yeah. Drinks wanakuja. M-Pesa wameshikilia pale Fuliza.
Wakona kila kitu. All under one roof.
So they're stealing 2 billion per day from government, but the family is making 2 billion per day.
We are losing, is it 6.3 billion? About how much did we quote on the show, Juicy? We were losing so much cash daily between.
At least we know it's
last
at least
and this year.
It's at least 2 per day. So Uhuru told us wanaiba 2 per day.
By the way, I think only 3.2 zilikuwa zina disappear. Yani hawezi account. No, hizi dozi hukuwaga zikichan 247 guys.
Fucking Minister of Treasury, whatever his name is,
that guy.
Yatan or some shit.
Yatani.
He said they were borrowing 3.2 per day. But Uhuru comes and tells us the same period too. They are losing 2 per day also. So they're making a profit of 1.2.
That's it. Jav, let me tell you something very interesting I did over the weekend. Thanks to you, by the way. And shout out Onguru Meister. I feel like I outed you on the show earlier in the week.
You outed me?
No, I outed you.
Outed.
Niliku big up.
Oh, okay.
Big up, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So you recommended a movie. 2 movies. Okay, technically you recommended 3 movies. One was Palma by Justin Timberlake. The other one was Spiral.
Palma ili fail.
Palma ili fail. That's the one I didn't even get. I got torrents, man. When did you watch it? When did you watch it? Me, my torrents don't have Palma.
Talk to me, Moti. I'll give you. Nitakupatia link. But I hope bado uko Pirate Bay. Uko out Pirate Bay iko down katumba nyoka.
I think watu pia wa torrents wanafaa kama watu check you on the side.
Watu wa torrents.
I content yetu huwa tuna plug sana.
I get them daily. I found a new
all
one.
The time.
I found I said it was 1337 or some shit. Ndakutumia link.
Huko ndo tutaenda kutafuta.
Palma niliwatch weekend. It didn't go too far.
It didn't go too far. I'm glad. Yet it had the higher rating. It must have been because of
No, it's those soapy stories that
those
need all your
kind
time.
Of movies.
A guy who's taking care of another toy, who's orphaned of some shit like that. It was too emotionally
draining for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So for anyone who hasn't watched Palma, by the way,
try it. Nifiti.
If your emotions are not in it,
sikukuwa na time.
Just don't do it.
Another one?
Spiral.
Oh, Spiral was.
Oh my fucking
lutely, man.
That's the worst movie I have seen this year, Javan.
It's the best movie I've seen.
It was so bloody inconclusive. I did not even understand.
Ilisha hivi nikasema, what did
I
just do?
What the actual F? I'm like, Ajay.
No spoil. Let's spoil it. We've watched it.
No. Let's not spoil it.
I'm spoiling.
Let me tell you what excited me about the movie. Chris Rock,
I've never liked Chris Rock. Incidentally, I've never liked that fucker.
Why?
He can't tell a joke. He's not funny.
He's damn hilarious.
He's not.
What's wrong with you?
I've never.
I think it's just his sense of humor. His delivery.
I've never enjoyed Chris Rock.
Do
even
you
one
enjoy
day.
Eddie Griffin?
Big time.
Then that for me is a stark contrast.
Eddie Griffin is funny as
Martin
shit.
Lawrence?
Extremely funny.
Wow. And Chris Rock does
Chris
nothing
Rock is
for
not
you.
funny for me.
Okay. I won't lie. I personally became a fan of Chris Rock after I watched Everybody Hates Chris. I felt I respected
Sijui kama
his
ni voice yake.
writing. No, his
Sijui-
voice
There's
is
something
damn
that
annoying. His
puts
voice
me
is
off.
damn annoying.
That's
There's a
prob-
reason he's the voice of the zebra in
Yeah.
that
I
movie.
like him doing everything else apart from
being on the screen.
apart from first of all stand up out of the
so-
question.
so like,
and it's funny movies.
stop telling jokes.
Stop telling jokes.
Na kucheka. Shida yake ni delivery.
Ajui umse si funny. Sijui kwa nini.
Comedic timing. His
When he's
comedic
doing the
timing is
zebra,
off.
it's perfect. When he's doing
Because that's
everything else,
scripted.
because I don't have to see him maybe.
Okay. Eric wants to say something here.
I just came across this on Twitter.
Okay.
Damon Wayans calls
Damon
out Dave Chappelle to do the first comedian versus battle.
Oh,
Damon Wayans.
that's gonna be great.
Damon is another.
Amecall out Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle
Unaonaje?
atamtukana mpaka alie.
Ai, hapana. Damon.
Damon is not funny at all.
Damon is damn funny. Oh my
Damon is
god.
not funny.
Didn't you used to watch
Wait,
that
wait,
show?
wait. We're
was
brothers, we're happy and we're
Wife
singing
and
and we're
kids.
colored. Da, 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 da.
Is
Give
that
me a high five.
What is this?
That's the Wayans Bros. They had a show.
Is it in Living Color?
No, Oh, Damon is the older one.
Yeah, no, Keenan is the older one.
The-
Damon is the younger
Ivory,
one.
Keenan
for-
Ivory.
Yes, Keenan Ivory.
And then
where,
these last two guys.
that's Marlon and Sean.
Marlon is the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, Marlon is not funny. By
Marlon
the way,
is not
actually
funny
for
at
me,
all.
the the Wayan brothers, like the comedy Shana Damon.
Even Damon ain't that
No,
funny.
Damon
but,
is damn funny.
He's not that
My
funny.
wife and kids, Damon Wayans.
I make sense.
Z.
When you say
For Mimi Jam.
when you say Damon, I was thinking of Marlon. Marlon is a little shit. Eh?
No, Marlon is a little.
He's a little shit
No,
completely.
Marlon is he's a kid of the new age.
Then they have a
I
sister.
find, by the way, people younger than us, they find him so funny.
Oh, he was.
Kwanza, he has that show. These are like a sitcom he's done. I'm like, everyone is just going
Yeah, I've
crazy
seen it,
about
I've seen it.
I'm like,
I'm-
really? That's
I've
what you guys think is
yeah,
funny? Do you
kids
know
are
I came
watching
from
it.
the age of my wife and kids and things like Seinfeld?
Me, I
and
came from
other
now.
heavy,
I came
heavy
from
hits.
the age of that when that song I'm singing. It's called, what is it called? The one. Then their dad. There were two, Brahim and these are the brother, young brother is called who?
It's
the one you just mentioned.
Damon.
Marlon and
Sean.
Marlon and Sean. They had a show. I can't remember the name. I've just sung the
The-
theme.
and then
But
we are colored.
now their father
Uh-huh.
was John Witherspoon, bruh.
Ah! Oh, that
It-
must have been
it
damn
was the
funny.
funniest
Oh,
show
that
ever.
that
It
must
was
have
the
been damn
funniest
funny.
show ever.
I wonder who wrote it.
I think it was Marlon and Sean. I can't recall it. It was in the mid 2000s, pan.
For me, the age of the Wayans was in Living Color. I really think Keenan and Damon and the sister, I forget what her
Kim.
name is. Kim.
She's called Kim.
Kim
yes.
Wayans. I feel like they did the perfect. It was the perfect blend of comedy and music, because a lot of even the comedians and the musicians who they used to bring onto the show in
Yeah,
Living Color,
Living
even
Colour
the
was okay.
dancers,
Living
you
Colour
know,
was
in Living
fine.
Color is a show that gave us dancers like J Lo.
Mhm.
People didn't know who the fuck J Lo was before she was put in that show. So I feel like it gave us the age of talent and other beautiful things right now. I respect the Wayan name immensely, and Damon Wayan especially. If there was anyone to,
He
how I
overacts.
wish,
He
how I,
overacts a bit. He
yes,
overacts a
he's an
bit.
overactor.
Yes,
but I feel
that's
like
what puts
his
me off him.
his what, his what do you call it? That humor where you are illustrating, like what Mr. Bean does. I forget
yeah,
that,
what's it
you
called?
know,
It's called
physical comedy.
physical comedy,
Yeah, I
yes.
feel like his physical comedy is what sets his comedy over the top.
Kwanza hiyo wife and kids mazee wangenakataa. Hey, I've tried it for years.
Are you serious?
Wangenakataa. Unatoka DSTV unaipata
Hapo.
KB NTV. Leave NTV. You can't.
It's right
I've
there.
watched it so
So
much,
many times.
so much,
And
but
still nothing.
Oh, it works for the moment when I'm watching it, but I wouldn't
After
put it
that.
in my top 10.
Okay.
Mm.
If there was someone who was to take up Dave Chappelle, though, I feel like either Martin Lawrence or Eddie Griffin would have been perfect.
Yeah,
I feel
I've-
like Damon is cowdo,
I've never
so
even seen
heavy a
Damon
hitter.
doing
stand up.
stand-up.
Yeah,
I've never
actually,
seen him
even
doing
me right now,
stand-up.
I'm just thinking, and I'm like, I've seen him MC, I've seen him do comedy shows, but I've never seen a
Yeah,
demon wearing
wacha
stand-up.
achomwe. Dave Chappelle will ban him
Is-
mpaka
is gonna-
akuwe msud.
Hata nimesahau.
Atakuwa
Tulikuwa tunabonga
msud.
nini kabla Eric
Kabla
atule-
Eric
Ah,
ataje-
Spiral. Nilikuwa na
Spiral,
show vile hiyo
yes.
movie iko down. Hiyo movie iko
Hiyo
down,
movie
yani
iko
it is so
juu.
down. It is
The
beyond.
cliffhanger
it's,
was
it's down
shocking.
beyond down. But this is
You
not
know,
why I
was
was
waiting for it
thanking
to
you.
continue. Nilikuwa natoka hivi, let me come back.
It's
Narudi
over.
naona-
Credits.
No, as I'm leaving the
Credits
room,
rolling.
naona credits in a roll. I'm like, what the fuck?
Ah, baby,
That
for
was the
anyone,
best
who hasn't
movie I've
watched
watched.
Spiral, don't watch it.
Watch Spiral,
Jav says
yes.
watch it. Me, I say don't watch it.
Watch
'cause
Spiral.
It was done for. The other one
uh-huh.
was Once Upon a Time.
Yes, Once Upon a Time was.
Or is it One Day at a Time?
One,
No.
one night in Miami.
Ah, One Night in Miami. Once Upon a Time, hata sijui nimetoa.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, I enjoyed that movie, especially because it put me on the music of a man who I have known but ignored for a very long time.
I've just also when I was watching, I realized I don't even know how that fucker looks.
Man, I actually
know
had
one
to go
song.
and Google
This
some
year,
book
this-
and what he looks like. He looks like. Yeah,
Huh?
I had to
He's-
go and what he
Yeah, I
looks
didn't know how,
like.
because everybody else looked like who they're acting.
Yeah, but
And then
Sam Cooke is
I'm
like,
who? How
is
does
it?
how does Sam
Is it?
Cooke
No.
look? I don't even know how Sam Cooke. I only know one Sam Cooke song, and it's not even by him.
It's one of those
It's-
adaptations.
Yeah, by what's it called? Some dude and his dad.
Like Gerald
What are they
Lovat.
called?
I have no idea.
No, not Lavat. I'll find the name.
Johnny Gill.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm so lost on the men of the 60s, by the way.
There's a man of the 2000s even.
Okay.
20. Continue. I'll tell you
we
the
shall-
name.
we shall know.
I started this year listening to that song almost daily.
It was one of those ones on repeat.
Yeah. it
Okay.
was-
No. If anything, Ja, for me, one night in Miami, for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's like a good history lesson. It's
Mhm.
like a quick explainer.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I especially appreciated that the writers took to giving us the stories. You know, the independent stories of Cassius and now Sam Cooke. Of course, Malcolm X, and who was
What
the other
was that?
guy?
Jim Banks. Jim who?
Someone, Jim, the bass.
The-
I just
the-
remember he was a baseball
yeah.
player. So I enjoyed like getting that part of history, but I especially enjoyed the music of Sam Cooke that I had to listen to thereafter.
I didn't
My
even
Sunday
know.
was so polite.
I
Jav.
didn't.
I watched it on Saturday.
The Sam Cooke song I'm saying is called "A Change Is Gonna Come"
A Change Is Gonna Come.
by Brian Owens and his father. With this one.
I actually did not know. This is 8 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't a cover, Jav?
This is a cover.
Because- oh, it's a cover.
It's a
of the
Sam Cooke cover.
song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I've never even heard Sam Cooke's version. This is the but I know it was written
No,
by
you
Sam
should,
Cooke.
you should actually listen. It's a
I-
beautiful
I
song,
realized that.
and it
Didn't
brings
even know
me
how that
to-
fucker looks like.
I actually it got me wondering a lot about how I learnt about the things that I learnt,
Mm.
because I always tell very many people who know me that I especially enjoyed education, not
Mm.
because of where I got it,
Mm.
but because of how I got it.
Group of schools.
No, it was before there was group of schools. There were my parents, yeah.
Ah, okay.
And I'll always say that for me, one of the many people ask me, hey, but Muti, how do you talk like that? Hey, your accent is so good. I'm like, yo, it's because growing up how I did,
Mhm.
English was my first language. I think in English and then I translate.
Same here.
Yeah.
I think in English
Yeah,
as well.
even when it's in relation to my mother tongue, that's where it starts. And that always tells me that the foundation and the basis of my education was very strong. Of course, being from a household where both my parents were language teachers, it definitely, like really tweaked that aspect of my life.
Oh, okay.
Language always and forever will be my anchor. Yeah. If I cannot communicate, if I cannot pass my message across, it becomes very, very hard. I get extremely frustrated. And now I was reading about this new education system, and the article is super interesting. I don't know whether you had you
I
perused
didn't
it,
have a
Jav.
look at it.
You didn't have a look at it.
To be honest, I know absolutely fuck all
Fuck
about
all.
this
And this for
education
me is so
system.
ironic
I just know
because
it's better than 844.
It's
by
definitely
a long
better than
shot.
844.
By far.
But now here's the kicker.
Mm.
Our parents are now complaining. They're saying, yo, this new system, it needs us to be too involved in our parents,
Yeah.
in our kids' lives.
I think the government discovered parents are dumb as shit.
Dumb as rocks.
See how they vote. You see? So time to go back to school, bitches.
Throw your kids.
Fuckers can't vote for shit.
Jav, you made me laugh so hard. I'm actually feeling hot. I need to take off my
Fuckers can't
jacket
vote.
here on
So,
the 420 show.
Take them back to school, kinyuma, kimpango. Because my son has been doing it for what, 4 years now. From
I would actually,
from
I'm very
PP
keen on you giving us your
PP1,
experience.
I know,
as
I
a
know.
parent.
I know. I just do a lot of homework. That's pretty much it.
Mhm.
But I know it's different.
Yeah.
I had some some things about it before it began and after
rolled out.
it rolled out.
Okay.
And I can compare it's way better than what we have.
Okay.
It's closer to the European, what
system.
Europeans are doing. You know, concentrating on your forte.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is what really it disgusted me to a point, actually.
Because parents,
And
people who can't vote want to change the education system.
Not
Motherfucker.
that's another curveball, and I'll actually ask our producer to just check who wrote the article that's about the new curriculum system. Mr. Producer, if you'd be so kind, because I did not understand. For me, the author was bitching. By the way, I actually wanted to write a letter to, I believe it was The Nation, the story was gotten from, and be like, can you just get these, what are they called? Writers with skewed perspectives out of your fucking writing room. Because basically, Jav, this...
Was it an opinion piece or it was...
It was an opinion piece.
Opinion piece, you can write what you want,
you can write what you want, but I feel like it's not an opinion, it's a complaint. It's not a
I have
complaint
to read
piece.
it now during the break.
Yeah,
and
it's and this guy was basically saying, right now parents have been tasked, with a lot that is now happening in their children's curriculum. And this
not even in their children's lives.
Thank you.
This is a skiver. This is a person who it was a man, I should imagine.
Of course it was a nigger. Of
This
course.
is a guy
And
who
please,
wants
Mr. Producer, confirm for us.
Please
who the fuck wrote
he
that
wants
article?
to be going to the bar and instead of helping his kid do homework.
And you see, Jav, what it reminded me was my own education experience. And I'm like, I truly feel like the point where the 844 system gets it wrong is where the environment in school is so different from the environment at home.
Precisely.
Yeah. Such that you almost have a disconnect in the child themselves.
Yeah.
Because they are one thing.
It's a
in
mind
school.
fuck for sure.
Yeah, it's one thing in school, and then it's another different thing at home. And what I see the new system trying to do, though it could be a bit myopic in how it's trying to do it, is let's sort of harmonize these environments that we're putting our children in, such that the parent is not so out of touch with their child. And moreover, the teacher is more in touch with what's happening in the child's life. So when I read this thing, and the guy, he made some valid points, and we shall refer to him therefore as a he, because we are assuming he's a he until proven she.
It's a guy who wants to be in the bar, but they
Yeah.
want to help his kids with homework.
So he was saying that not every parent is educationally what's
academic.
Academically able.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
But
these are the
honestly, academically able, nini imefika wapi saizi? Naitwaje? CBC. Imefika class 4.
No.
They've gone to 5 now. They've gone to 5.
They've gone to 5, and soon it will be a full-on rollout. Yeah.
No, I'm saying currently, what we have now is class 5.
Yes.
Honestly, kama ujui vitu za class 5, even if you are academically challenged, how? Vitu za class 5, no, class 5 has just started, so we are technically talking of class 4.
Yeah.
Vitu za class 4 ujui.
Na si hivyo Jav, in the end itabidi wamejua mpaka hizo za class 8. I suppose mpaka
they'll go with those kids up to form 4 and they'll keep learning
as they go.
Because kwanza wanatoa boarding. Ushasikia?
Nishasikia.
Boarding inatoka. So this child, you are with him at home.
You have to come and get that.
Seeing as the way this government is going, curfew itakuwa mpaka wafike form 4. So this guy is not going back to the bar.
First, the byline is by Daniel Mushugu. That's
Daniel Mushugu.
Yeah, the person who wrote the article. And secondly, I would beg to differ with both of you by saying we cannot. I cannot do the work of my teacher. I've basically employed that teacher. I'm not saying that I cannot teach my son 1 or 2 things by virtue of my memory, but the fact that he goes to school, it is by virtue of that person being in a position to explicate himself in different situations, giving him an experience different other than what I would offer him.
Yes.
My work as the parent is to be a guide. Unaelewa? Just to refresh your memory. Unaelewa? When you get home, I want you to do your homework, yes, but I won't do it for you.
There's no one who's
There's
asking
no-
you to
you-
do
you're
it for
missing-
the child.
I think you're missing the point. You
And
see,
that's what I was
the
actually
teacher-
going to say. These are the skivers we are talking about.
nyinyi ndio watu wabaya.
Hapa ndio hapa,
Utaka na
how,
huyo
how,
mtoi
how.
mpaka university unamsaidia na homework.
Yeah, because you see, Vitalis, the premise is one. There is nobody who is telling parents, and this is where we now come to not just teaching styles, but also parenting styles. Because what I saw in the article was not a side effect of the system. What I saw was a very difficult parenting style from the person who wrote the article. This person alikuwa anasema, just like our producer here, by the way, I don't think I have the skill set to impart this knowledge. But I think he's put it very plainly. You are a parent and you are a guide.
But
So even when it comes to the situation, it's no longer, hey, go and do your homework, and your child goes and sits in the corner. No, it's you to sit down with your child as they do their homework, and what? Make sure you're giving them something as they go along.
Moti,
If it
let's-
is a
let's
task,
be
and
realistic.
It's involving the parent.
Let's
bro.
be let's
It's
be
involving the
realistic. I'm
parent.
not
Let's-
saying
let's-
you
let's
don't
be
do it.
Before you
realistic.
continue,
We can't
the
all speak at
teacher,
the same time.
the teacher is teaching in school. Story Naishapo. That's how it was before in 844.
Yes.
Then you go home, fuck off home, do your homework by yourself. But now we're saying, no, you don't need to do it by yourself. Ask someone to help you do it.
That's where I differ with you. Ukienda chuo 844 ulikuwa unapewa diary, si ndio? Diary ilikuwa ya kazi gani? Ya ku make sure mzazi angalia mtoto wako amepewa kazi gani.
But you
ngoja. Umepewa kazi gani na ufanye hiyo kazi vile
Naenda
inafaa
bana
kufanywa.
rudi. Naenda
Si
bana
ndio?
rudi.
Hata ukienda ba urudi
Nipate umefanya.
Haujaacha akili kwa ba.
No.
Umekuja home utaangalia kazi yenye mtoto amefanya. That is if you're a reasonable parent, kama pombe zako hazikuonyeshi vingine, utataka kujua umefanya nini. Unajua? That is why you have a diary. That is why they still have a diary to date. But saa hii imefika place yenye unaniambia mimi kama si mtoi wangu saa hii mimi naweza saidia mjunior wangu kukala nini hadi hizo class 4 class 5 hizo zina make sense. I'm not saying that I am incapable. I'm speaking for the parent who hata agenda system. Unajua? Yali hustle venye ali hustle akafika mahali yuko anaweza lipia mtoi wake fee. Unataka tena huo mzazi arudi tena kuanza kusoma vitu za mtoi wake, ama atacheza a guiding role kwa mtoi wake kuensure kenye mwalimu amefundisha ameshika kwa kiwango fulani.
You know, Vitalis, this just brings, for me, a much deeper conversation that we have been having over and over. Everything is connected. That for me is will forever be my standpoint. You cannot tell me that, no, in fact, before I say what you can and can't tell you, let me give my own example. Yeah? I remember me in the 844 system I grew up in. I was in that thresh of kids, and for anyone who's listening or watching, you can guess my age, where arts and crafts, music, agriculture, those are the things that I found being phased out from our primary school system.
As we suffered with them.
You guys suffered
And
with them.
that's the majority. Okay. That's the majority of skill set within which our parents, Akina Jav's parents, were in.
Akina Jav actually.
So
It's
which
not even
means
Akina Jav's
I
parents.
don't
It's
disagree with the
Akina
fact
Jav.
that this curriculum actually needs to be done away with.
It
Not
needs to be.
completely done away with, but some aspects of it revised.
For me, it was not even about the aspect of getting away with. My point was one, yeah? Even with a subject like arts and crafts or agriculture that was being phased out, I remember the assignments of those subjects were extremely practical. And that's the point I want to make. Right now, a teacher is charged with the theoretic part of knowledge.
Which
the
should not be
practical
the case.
bits,
Which is
that we
what a
can
teacher
all-
is trained for.
Exactly. That's what a teacher is trained for. So when you say a teacher has done their job, please, the teacher is not coming to do the job for you. The teacher is doing their job. They are teaching the theory and the knowledge that they should impart. That part is done. But Vitalis, what you're forgetting is, in my honest opinion, the thing that is plaguing our workforce and our labor force, as we have even highlighted on this show before, is we have knowledge we cannot apply. don't you think
That
if
is
you
why-
learned
that
how
is
to,
why
just let
the
me finish.
practicality
Please,
of
please,
it-
please. Just let me finish, yeah? Don't you think if we merged the theoretic aspects that are done in school, and then you as a parent who goes out to grind daily, you are the one who is seeing what skill set is out there. Just this evening, someone has just asked me, hey, my person, ni sawa, but again, I'm trying to make a point, short or long. Mse ameniuliza sahi. My child is speaking this course. Niko sumefanya. Muti, what would you think? And why is that person asking me? Me who is practicing the thing. Ananiuliza because I know the practicality. Ikikuja kwa ground, our world is ever changing. We live in the age of internet. If you expect your child ataenda kujua vitu za social media and other short stories kwa mwalimu, as a parent you're expecting too much.
That is
simple.
Wacha niseme hivi.
Parents
practicality haimaanishi ati mwalimu amefanya kazi yake akishafundisha theory. The fact that mwalimu anafundisha mtoi inamaanisha there is some level of professionalism that he's supposed to impart onto that child that you cannot as a parent.
Which is
by
the
virtue,
theoretic.
Which is, yes, it's the theoretic, but unadhani kwa sababu wamefundishwa daro nini titration, wewe utakuja kufundisha nani titration kwa nyumba yako? Niambie, juu unaniambia hapa practicality gani?
Dilute juice. Dilute juice.
Hiyo ni kudilute juice. Unaongeza drop gani ndio ichange color?
Sasa
kwa hiyo
now you see that is and
hiyo ndio practicality muti. The fact that
practicality kama hiyo, you are missing the point where theoretic knowledge has to be applied in real life situations. If the child does not have real life situations at home and apply knowledge wapi, it's not about changing color the same way it does in a lab. It's about showing them, hey, you can use chemistry in your everyday life. You're baking a cake, use chemistry. Doing X, use chemistry. That's simply what we're telling parents to do.
Muti, ukishasema point unatulia kiasi. Si ati unaendelea. Tulia kidogo.
Mic nini?
Haya sawa.
Drop mic.
Tulia kiasi. Kenya nasema ni wewe kama mwalimu, the first thing that you do as a professional ni unafundisha mtoi venye kunaendaga na unamuonyesha. Hiyo ni kazi yako chuo, kwa sababu hata ukiniambia story ya titration ati nitamfundisha na juice, Saleh anaenda kufanya KCSE hata kuwa na juice mbele yake. Saleh anaenda kufanya chem after ashamaliza hiyo KCSE hata kuwa na sijui nini noodles, sijui keg za kuonyesha sijui moles, sijui nini, hata kuwa na hizo. The fact is hii system saa hivi yenye inachangiwa, na hapo ndo nyinyi mna miss point, ni wakichange curriculum walikuwa nasema itakuwa nasemaje, what do we call it, talent oriented, unaelewa, ukisema competency based, unaelewa, which means ngoja kidogo, which means if it is competency based inamaanisha mtu huyu anafaa kuwa able kufanya A, B, C and D by virtue of him having gone through a series of tests.
Yes, there's that.
Sindio? Wewe kama mzazi, hebu nionyeshe sasa ama niambie where in a chemistry exam, for example, because we're not only doing this for Raima, we're also doing it for huku kwingine. Tell me how you would guide your child through something like what, reproduction na genes ama kwa sababu
unataka kuongea na watoto wako juu ya madeki.
Si ati juu utaki juu, si ati mimi naweza kuwa nataka.
That is so stuck in his ways. We are not going to convince him.
Hey, ikifika time ya kutoka kuongea madeki na makuma, it is your job, not mine, bro.
And not even that.
I would be telling your kids about reproduction,
and
bro.
Not even that.
You as a parent step the fuck up. That's why kids are fucked up, because parents are not discussing this shit no more.
Parents left the
job.
Not even that. That's why they're even scrapping the boarding school system. Because what? Because they realize e-system allow the kids are out of touch. So much so. Let me give a very good example with myself. Mimi hapa kama mti. Often I tell my own parent that some of the things huwa anashanga kunihusu is because ya ile system aliniweka. Me grew up in a system where 3 months hard work, unapiga kazi, you come back for 1 month. Of that 1 month, 2 weeks you're back, you're still pigging the kazi, okay? And then I have a parent who wonders why I'm a workaholic. I'm like, yo, ulinieka kwa hii system kitambo. Unanipata? The competency based system simply is this. It's based on competency. So inasema nini? Inafika mahali huyu mtoto, they cannot be competent at everything. Unanipata? But what they're competent in, let them be extremely competent. So unataka kuniambia no, let me ask you first. Let me ask you. So your child has said, they've said, yo daddy, me I want to dance. Ama me,
I want to be a
this
DJ.
is the competency I am seeing that nina thrive. And you're trying to tell me because hauna skill set ama haujasoma, hautashughulika? Seriously, that is bad parenting.
That is not what I'm saying.
Bad parenting.
Hiyo inamaanisha hujasikia kenye nilikuwa nasema.
Cheki,
Kenye nilikuwa nasema
hauna
Muti,
competency ya kuweka some of the things in your child.
Kenye hii curriculum inaleta ni mbaya ama hai need kufanywa. Kenye nasema ni si ati sitaki kuparticipate. Kenye nasema ni when it comes to more technical explanations. Unaelewa? Kwa sababu the fact of the matter is hawa watu wenye wanarudi kutoka class 1 hadi class 3, hiyo homework mtu yoyote anaweza fanya.
That is what
the fact Kenya nasema ni kutoka class 4 kwenda mpaka class 8. Mse, kuna vitu zingine wazazi hawakumbuki.
Ni ukweli.
The fact is maths hata sahi kufanya algebra wewe Javan, mimi sijui how competent you are, but kufanya algebra mazee utafanya ama utaambia huyu mtoia vitu gaja afanya hapo aenda ka lose exam.
Na ni ukweli. There I'm with you.
So the point is the point is si lazima vitu zingine amwezi. Let's be direct with what we are saying. Mwalimu anafaa kuachia mzazi hii ni mimi kama mwalimu mnafaa kuwa mnafundisha mtoi down to the core. Unaelewa? Kwa sababu the fact is hakuna venye mtoi atadeliver na atapita exam bila kukuwa na depth flani. Unaelewa?
Ni ukweli, hiyo depth lazima.
So
now I have been using
two things.
Please say your two things before I use myself as an example again.
On Sunday my son told me anamaliza chuo class 6. We are learning as we go, bro. Well, I told you.
You think next year I have another 2 years?
4 years.
No, next year it's over, Dad. It's
4
over.
years that kid has been in that school. Kutoka PP1, doing kindergarten, maybe 5 years now. I went for one meeting for CBC. I said never again. Because she will send me that PPT. They've never sent it. So apparently, two in the class 6, bro. Then they go where? Junior high, yeah. What the fuck is that?
Yes.
Why am I learning it in 2021? Although I didn't go for the meeting.
And this day has been insane.
Number 2, umefika hata mbali na hiyo chem, sijui titration nini. This kid probably doesn't want to read chem.
Exactly. So wewe unaletewa homework ya mtoi mwenye.
Homework ya class 1 to 6 we can all
mtu anaweza fumble apate.
We can all struggle with that, I'm sure.
But
after that we keep going, man. Practical sasa sijui watafanyaje. I don't have they've not explained
which is why
how high school is going to work with CBC.
And we shall know. We shall know. In fact, we shall find out.
Chemistry I got 29%, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember KCSE what I got.
Can I quickly interject my point? I will still say, when I read the article, which I think we should.
I'm going to read it during the break.
Yeah, I'm like
right
we should put the link for our listeners so that they can tell us.
Tukirudi on the break tunarudi na story nyingine.
Because ni muhimu. What I saw when I read it was not teaching styles. I didn't even see like our curriculum. What I saw were different parenting styles. And the fact of the matter is this.
That's what I'm seeing as well.
Sahi, I feel like a lot of the people who exist in the companies of today, in the places of power of today, the people who are actually out actively making a living, you say hawana some competencies. Let me speak as one of them. There's some things I didn't excel greatly at. But what happens when you question someone's intelligence? They feel insecure, even when it's coming from a point of your child. I remember when I was growing up, and I went to my mother, because I will still say I was very, very blessed to have parents who, in spite of everything, for the time that I was actively in their life, like kawa naona mimi mtu yako pale anafanya, they'll at least come peep what you're doing. And if I ever had a question for my parent that they did not know, you know what they told me? They simply told me, that one, just write it down, go and ask your teacher tomorrow. And what did that do? When I went to the class the following day, I was not asking, questions like the other kids. I was asking practical questions. I was like, teacher, but you said the light works in the morning. Eh? But what happens at night? You get? That's something even me. My mom had forgotten probably at the point when I was asking her. But what happens? The teacher is able to give other aspects of theoretic knowledge that can serve the better, the whole experience of learning. And that's simply my point. When you have a parent who's not even willing to admit, guy, I don't know, what happens? Your child loses out. And that's why I would still say parents should be just as involved, if not more, in the new system than they were in the old.
They must be involved. Me,
They
I've just
must be
told you,
involved.
the
thing
And
is,
this
Parkers
thing-
can't
and this
vote.
thing
Warudi
for ati,
shule.
hey, me as a parent, this is where my jurisdiction,
Nimelipa-
me, this is
nimelipa.
where my
It's your
jurisdiction
fucking
has
kid, man.
figured.
Take an interest.
That's your child.
People are not taking an
And I would
interest in
still
their
say,
kids.
What I'm
yes.
saying is-
and that lack of interest is what is showing in our companies, in our places of work right now.
What I'm saying is it's not for a lack of interest for any parent, any normal parent to check up on their child. Unajua nikisema tuongee facts. Saa hii uko Wera, we Java. Mtoi wako ameingia mtaani. Unataka kumaliza Wera hapa saa 3:30 ama saa 2:30 ufike mtaani, ndio tena uanze kuangalia homework ya mtoi wako to the effect that ati unamsaidia kufanya A B mpaka amalize.
That's not practical.
That
That's
is
not practical, Mr.
That is why
Producer.
nasema, what do you mean it's not practical? And that's the same shit that parents are being told to do out here. Kama juzi mtoi wangu ana come home anaambiwa saa hii anafundishwa ati ABC, what we used to call ABCs. Au anaita sijui ati they call them with the sounds ati
Phonetic.
abacad,
phonetics, yeah.
whatever.
Do you know that is actually the right way to
It
start
is,
to teach,
it is.
to teach reading?
Yeah, yeah.
How
I'll,
so?
I'll
How?
give you my
Just
experience.
explain
I'll
it.
give you my
Because
experience.
children learn sounds before they learn words.
Reading is learned through sounds. Let me give you my example perfectly. My kid started reading at 2 or 3. Alikuwa anaenda kwa komp yangu anaona GAMES means games, and he knows.
Games.
Yeah. So me, and he started reading. Kumbe, I thought this kid knows how to read. He doesn't fucking know. I took him for a fucking interview. Mtoya alianza kulia.
Oh no.
Because he can't read this shit. Because me, I've
Oh.
been teaching ABCs. He knows his ABCs. He can count to 100.
But now, when it comes to words,
reading is phonetic. It's sounds.
To date, I still
that is a big lesson I learned.
I beg to
with
differ.
sounds.
If you know ABC and
Yeah.
you don't know sounds, you can't read, bro.
I don't disagree, but ukiambia mtoi sin na sin, there's kuna tofauti kati ya sin
and that
na
they
sin.
learn.
Yes.
Unaelewa?
They learn through writing.
So for me, as in,
No, I'm
it's
talking about
it's
starting
about
to
how
read. Starting
that-
to read.
Ukisema
Exactly.
starting to read, it's about wewe vile wewe unaongea na mtoi wako. Juu mi roho safi, my son, I teach him how to say the word. It's not about ati this is just the word. Unaelewa?
Yeah,
This is SIEEN and there is SIN. They're all pronounced the same, but they have different meanings.
But you see, when you're reading, you say S-E-E-N. That is what I'm saying. You don't say S-E-E-N. He doesn't know what the fuck that means.
So now that you've said that, it is very beautiful. SEEN.
Doesn't spell
How?
anything. Doesn't spell anything.
Ni
So
S-A-A-N.
S-E-E-N.
Precisely.
What do you mean?
That is,
Aje.
listen.
And again,
No,
here,
let me tell you how I learned
Aje.
it
Si
again.
ndo nasema,
Sin
even
is-
even this,
To pronounce sin, you say S-E-E-N. Sin.
So,
Straight up.
so,
But ukiamba mtoi S-E-E-N, there's no sound there. It doesn't make sense. It's not a
so
word.
SEEN
It
is
is inaandikwa S-E-E-N. That's how you teach a child to read. Umwambii sin inaandikwa
unajua
S-E-E-N.
unasema
Sounds-
Kenya
It
nasema.
sounds. It sounds.
sounds
You
make
sound
words.
out the words.
Exactly.
Sound out the words.
And use
So,
if you remember your dictation class, if you remember your dictation class, you who's here telling us about homophones, by the way, for our audience who does not know, sin and sin, those are what we call homophones. If you remember your dictation class, unless mine was different, our teacher would actually make us spell out the word. You want to say beautiful, it's beautiful, because unless you say it
But-
like that, ukisema beautiful, how will you write
I
it?
make sense.
Utaiandikaje?
You can't write it, man.
Utaiandikaje?
Even your
If
name.
you want to say
even
it's
your
a
name.
Q,
You know, it is-
unaisema Q.
we complicate
You get
this
like
thing. It is
you have to sound
so
it out
fucking simple.
so that it
your
makes
name
sense.
is it al is Straight up.
It's Vitalis.
Yes,
No,
So
no.
now what? So
tell your
no, because my son is
Tell
going to
your
read
2-year-old boy.
No,
your son is vile unafundisha mtoi wako atasema VITIL sijui hizo vitu hazimake sense. Jina ni Vitalis VITALIS. Straight up. No point of going into alphabets, man.
What do you mean? Java.
By the way,
Okay,
imagine-
hapo hatutapatana.
Sisi wanasema itabidi tumego on the break.
I agree to disagree.
Reading
I
is
cannot
learned
I cannot
by
meet with
sounding
you on
out
that.
words. You're doing it subconsciously every day.
Yeah.
No, it's not about subconscious, Java.
When you're-
It's about reality, man. Unadhani hapa hivi nje atakuja kuspell Z, man.
But if he's 2 years old, he has to do that.
Exactly.
But when he's 20, he won't.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think it is only,
Kama
it is
bado-
only,
kama
it is
bado-
only
think-
because
why do
our
you guys
producer's
think-
son,
why do you
our
think-
producer's son is too smart. Eh?
Kama
Why do you
bado-
think?
He jumped right to
Why do you think Kenya
science.
was amongst the smartest countries before?
Because we sound
Before
out
the now.
fucking words. That's how I learned to read. We had a book in class 1 called
No.
Sounds
Let Vitalis
of
tell us.
Words.
Let
With
our
like a
producer
guy
tell
with
us
like a-
why we are so good and so smart as Kenyans.
Sounds of words, my friend.
Wewe unasema sound, hiyo ni sounds of words. That was part of the curriculum. What I'm saying is you're not supposed to drill mtoi kusema vitu design fulani when it will ultimately affect him venye atabonga, venye atakuwa na ana reason akisema words before even the pronunciation, kwa sababu sahi mwalimu anafundisha mtoi wangu ni Mkamba, mi inanibo design mtoi wangu anaanza kusema vitu zingine na accent ya Kikamba. Maze, what the fuck, man? Si need your
And
shit
now
kwa
imagine,
kichwa.
and now imagine
need
if
your
you are that
shit.
parent who does not want to be involved in their kids' dictation, and they
Uh-huh.
have a Kamba teacher.
I've been
Do you
involved
see-
in
do
my
you see-
child, and
do you
with,
see
that's
how-
why my child went to school counting 1 to 100 when other children in his class couldn't even count to 20.
Precisely.
But-
and they barely know how
I've
20
told
The
you,
producer,
I've
the
told
point
you
is
that's
one.
what that's
Your
exactly what
involvement-
that's
responsibility
exactly
as a
what
parent.
happened to
Better.
my child. My child could
It's my
count to 100.
responsibility.
He could say A to Z, but he could not fucking read.
That is why
He could
nasema
spell
wewe alikuwa anaweza kuspell, but mimi nimego down to ile level, nimeleta board, anaona ini letter A, ini letter B inakaa hivi.
Na kushow.
Nikiandika anajua hii vile inakaa hii ni A. Nikiandika Z anajua hii vile inakaa hii ni Z.
That is the upper level.
Unaelewa?
You have to go to a deeper level now to join these consonants and vowels to make a word.
I feel like
So
Ukitu-
how-
mtoi a
I'm not
2-year-old
sure either of
kid.
you have dealt with any slow learners, yeah? Because just
Thank God
just,
I've not.
Yeah, just putting it out there. My nephew has a stutter, and the one thing tuliambiwa na the umse wa speech is that kids learn through sounds, yeah? But
Reading is
those
learned through sounds.
are for you to align, yeah? This is the bottom line, and that's why I was gonna tell you. I feel like you are making the assumption that every parent does their due diligence like you do. Not many parents go to the level of, as again, Java just said here, yeah, alikuwa ameenda tu alphabet, anajua the letters, but now put them together. That's a whole
To
different
make
ball
a sound. And the sound is a
you
word.
get, yeah, and that's what syllables, yeah? Syllables are what make words. So if you don't know your syllables, then itakuwa ngumu. But the bottom line is this: if you don't sound out the syllables, then it becomes very hard for you to make the words that make those for you to sound out the words that are made by
sound
those
out
syllables.
before we go on a break. Sound out for me BUS.
Bus.
Yeah? Huh?
It's a bus.
It's a
But you see,
It's a
you
bus.
see,
you must also realize, you
Oops.
must also understand it is a foreign language.
Now, for me,
In
for
an
me,
African language, it's so much easier to
listen,
achieve.
for me, Jav, it's pronounced.
It's a
when
bus.
when it sounded, it's a boss.
Mm.
I ain't teaching my son how to talk about pussy.
No.
What I'm
It's
saying
bu-
is,
bus. It's you just
bus. You ndo hapo ndo mali confusion inatoka. Juu mimi
no,
mtaani.
listen, go back to vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Bu, a,
Bus.
No.
It actually
No, you
remains bus.
you pronounce it how
But-
it's written.
No, you pronounce it how it's written. And what I was going to say is
That's
you may
now
Oh,
not-
the contention.
you-
what
you-
what
you-
you
you
what
don't-
the quagmire you're facing now is
Yeah.
what I was talking about.
And-
Because that's the same thing my child or someone else's child out there is facing. Because the parent has done the due diligence.
Your
the
child
child
is
knows.
not that sophisticated. He's learning
Not
a
even
new
that.
language.
I'm like,
Yeah,
you're not,
he's learning
you're
a
not
new
even
language,
willing
but
to take
let
your
him
child
learn right.
through a trajectory.
Ukimfundisha Kiswahili,
Let me tell you,
it's
the first
pronounced
time
a
they see
different
the
way.
word, it's bus. Then you explain to them some U sounds are A, some A sounds are
That's what I'm
AE.
saying.
you get
English is not the best
the-
example
you
here.
have to put- you
African
have to
language
put,
languages are much better.
It's about how the language is taught and not how the language
No,
sounds.
again, it's also again about vocabulary. You know?
I tell you,
Your
I
2-year-old
feel like
your
even our
2-year-old
audience must be tired with
your
this
2-year-old
conversation
doesn't
because
have that
I am.
vocabulary. You learn words as you go.
Yeah.
As you go, unajua, last week I didn't know bus. I was saying bus. This week I know it's bus.
Yeah.
Next week I had another word.
And that
It's
is what
you
makes the
build your
learning process.
vocabulary, man.
Yeah, that's what makes the learning process. When you realize at some point, I remember me personally, my sister, what for her she used to say was, "Hey, mom, me have been cut," and it's like what? And she meant cut. But why?
Yeah, to
Yeah,
be honest,
wanajua,
we-
and for
we
a
must
very long
agree.
time.
Practically, English is inadequate
Yeah,
to
and I'm like,
express
yo,
African feelings.
Don't you think for that person who goes from kut to cut, they have learned?
Wacha
And they will
tu.
never forget
Kuna,
why
kuna
it
ule
is not
msee mwenye
cut
anaweza enda
and,
anaweza baki cut from cut. Hiyo ndo kenye mimi nasema.
and now, for me,
But
that
you
is
have
just
to know
someone,
the
those
that's
two-
someone who's
those
not
two
going
should
through a
be-
Question of
trajectory.
vocabulary. It's a word you didn't know. Before you read it, you didn't know. But
But
now
if you
you know
touch-
it is BUS, it is red bus, and it means a moving
Jav,
fucking thing.
how would you spell alors in French?
A-L-O-R.
Alors.
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 Because
What
I
is
know
that?
some Francais. You see, it's a language I learned and I picked up.
A-L-O-R.
Alors,
If
yes.
if the French teacher who came teaching you was Luo, angekufundisha alors. Unajua, which means something totally different.
That is now another aspect of language. In fact, I was thinking about it just yesterday.
It's the same shit. You have to teach the person how to say it, right?
You have to get people who say these things properly. Our teacher, we can't get shrubby.
Now you're chewing my spit. Thank you very much.
We can't. Your question is specific. It's not a failure of the system. It's a failure of the individual.
Yes.
If you have an accent, then you probably shouldn't be teaching some of these
and,
languages.
and that goes back to my question or rather my point. I saw someone who was taking fault in the individuals, faulting the system. And for me, that was just like, hey bro, you need to take that article back, you need to cook it, you need to talk to a couple of parents, and then you need to come and give us some children experiences. Children of the 844 system, children of the CBC system. Because I truly do feel with the competency-based system and just a little bit more parental supervision, the education that we are going to have moving forward is gonna be bananas. It is gonna be crazy.
I'm glad I'm not thinking the way I'm thinking by myself, because Trev Ivory is also thinking the same
It's
way.
fine. He's probably a
what's
parent
Trev
who is
saying?
overworked and underappreciated
Trev?
where
Where's
he is,
Trev?
and now he does not want to come.
If you love
and
your
do his
child,
own
Muti,
thing.
there will never be a time unasema ni ku-overwork. Juu unapenda mtoi wako na unajua kenye unataka for that child. If they ever underperform, miss kudanganya. Mi mtoi wangu aki-underperform, ndajiblame kwanza. Nilidu kenye nilikuwa nafaa kudu. Kani nilidu kenye nilikuwa nafaa kudu, ndamuuliza aya sasa ndugu, niambie shida ni nini?
Na mimi nataka kusema kwa hizo vitu za zile vitu in the list of things that zenye ulikuwa unafaa kudu, not very many parents have checking in on my kid as
I think
part of that
I think
to-do list.
The deadliest problem is one, and it's extraneous to this discussion. Yes, to real accents.
Yeah,
That's
seemingly.
Watch at Ivory. We have Trev Ivory here, top fan.
Top-
Big up
top
Trev
fan.
Ivory, top fan. And Sema, CBC is a failure. I regret being a parent because of CBC. Okay, before we go on a break.
Hold on. That does not side with our producer whatsoever. That just says the guy hates the system.
Yes.
And again,
It's
Trevor,
ukae na huko.
Trevor, you are
It's
listening.
shit.
Do you have children? Please tell us. Call us
Changia-
after the break.
Changia,
he said he's a
Changia
parent.
first of all, and tell us why.
He said he's a parent.
Yes.
Tell us why it's a shit system.
Yeah, even me, I'm like, I need more details.
Yeah.
You can't just say something
0784
is shit.
0784
924 Yes,
100.
and actually before we go on break, let everyone be able to catch us on YouTube at Rogue Radio KE, as well as Facebook at Rogue Radio KE, on Instagram at rogueradio.live, and on Twitter at Rogue Radio with a double O live.
And Kamakawa, if you're done with the videos, it's
www at rogueradio.live. Yeah.
Music kama nyanya yako.
Na-
Before,
na-
wacha nimalize na story.
Moto.
Two stories.
Moto.
History ya accent. History ya accent. Two quick stories. My kids learned to read in Uganda.
Yes.
Sasa history view anasema I feel what he's talking about. Because one day my son comes home and says Wednesday. What?
Wednesday.
Mimi.
Aje.
I'm from Nyanza. Wednesday. And then my daughter comes and says she wants a bowel to put cereal. Those are the problems you're having. These are totally different things. And I keep saying, come on, accent to fundisha languages.
It's the same shit. Jew.
It's actually, it's not even that. The irony is that most language teachers have extreme accents.
Exactly.
Mimi nakumbuka my English teachers, my Kiswahili teacher.
Those guys should be removed.
Those, na half of them wanakuwaga my Yanks.
We have
all
many,
of them, by the, I don't
many
know.
people with clear accents.
Save for my German department. All the other language departments had women. Women. What's happening
to Anga the worst?
Apana, Wakamba.
I've never been taught a language, but actually,
oh my goodness. I will not name any names, but there is a lady who used to, yani, mpaka uo madam alikuwa ameambiwa jo, as in, you know how you're all prepared as a school before a teacher joins you? Yeah, that's what happened. Tuliprepariwa si wote, tukaambiwa, and I want you to, we want you to welcome her, we want you to be with her. Hey, wacha fungue mdomo, my friend. we see why we had to be one. First of all, her voice is all the way up there. Unajua pitch si mnajua Wakamba? Pitch iko on the roof. Iko through the roof. Alafu sasa wacha aanze kuziangusha left right.
Anafundisha so
ama drop it like it's hot.
Kuna aina
unadhani yeye ni ule demo wa ile video ya Snoop Dogg na Pharrell.
Kuna aina mingi za magonjwa. You cannot be teaching a language like hiyo ndio shida ya V. That's what I've Now the next one was another friend of mine. It's called Arabron. Big up if you're watching, Rono.
Big up.
Back in the day, we were not married, but he had kids. So akapeleka mtoi. Shall I name the school? Fuck it, Riara. It was 30,000.
You know they now have a university, please.
Sure. Those days it was just the school.
It was just the school. I know it.
30,000 those days.
Guanyes.
When we were young and famous.
Hey, I tell you.
So Jama came complain. He used to do voiceovers for me. Rono is a hell of a voiceover. In fact, namleta hapa afanye voiceover.
Na nafaa kufanya moja. Moto.
I cannot. He's a Jamaican Luo, half Jamaican.
Hey,
Jaka. So
must be hot.
Yeah. Ujasikia the punchline. I cannot take my kid to school and pay 30,000. Alafu mtoto anakuja home anasema dhate. The only one.
It's like, come on.
The only one.
At least give me 30. Give me 30.
See you guys after the break.
All on me, tumindo leki tumekwa mkingoja nani. All of this majis, tunina maninja ko ready kudedi na mi. So kama ni vita mke mkijonda kuja kama nimejami. Kuzoza lazima pawezi kupima jumi utembea na magwangi. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Bibezi yangu kuna karawala chaki atu akikimbia after kuja kuzoza. Niko busy all day ndo nifikirie viti after kila wana hawa nikiboza. Hizi ndo kubonga utapenda tukibonda. Watagoja sana kuona nikikonda. All day mina zoza mfuko ndena bonga. Vile naingizo tadhani midonga. Nimetulia om nikisiza marapa kemi nemdo manana wachoma ni kama naweka breki mena. Kakuna rapa na jichocha na wabibeki mena. Wakibiza sana itabidi mutisha breki men. Hizi pande ya tupakangi marashi harufu ya bangi kopende mtoto wa shetani. Hizi ganjikani zangu ugusangi juvile musakanya kama mtoto wa mchawi. Mini gwangi waulize silalagi na shinda gajaba tu zabe nikipiga kambi. Unaweza ukadhani niko idly kufikiria mimi mwenzetu tumanifanye dhambi. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, the Punisher. Sione venye watu wameisha. Allah, 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 Aisha. Unanitatiza maisha, walisema tumeachana nimeisha. Nilembo kona hazi atuwezi mingle. Basi nimefurahi tena kubaki single. Jump on them Obama, Karoli come, lawama. Kendrick Lama, Shorali Hama na mama na kanita baba. Nilikam kama Yesu juu ya ndama, opponent wananiandama. 2021, Yokohama, Chelsea. Nilijua you are catfishing, nilikuwa edit mara 10. I can predict, unataka chicken jaba. Tumindo neki tumekwa mkingoja nani. Always with my G's, tunina maninja ko ready kudedi na mi. So kama ni vita mkijonda kuja kama nimejami. Kuzoza lazima pawezi kupima jumi utembea na magwangi. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono.
Sina time ya mdomo, chakizoko vile miwanga na maitoka. Nishatoka, nataka kupiga mboka, niko vodka, bado naruka karosta. Mini Batman, vile natoka lazima run kumetoka. Vile natoka kachopa, wezi toka, kumecheche kama kota. Mchezi bonga, ushadidi uko mocha. Mini mota, na pepeta nikitoka. Sina munga, tuko chache tunakuja. Sezi cool down, vile bado mini hota. Niko zabe juu napenda ngusu, vile natatisha wezi ni rusu. Kumfu zile za sugu, na kula ela nika kuku.
Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono.
Sina time ya mdomo, so mkini try mna ndonyo. Snitch, rat kwa kijadhea boyo. Mina dainyapa ngwai na monyo. Kwa kilinje mangondo, kama nyonyo nyongongo. Yo kwa photo si bro ni promo. Miskeskade ni mbuzi we kondo. CF7 kwa pussy roro. You go and ask them, nani atengeza hizo maskan. Na before tuanze kutenda we must plan. Tukila time wakirenga we hustling. You better believe this is how I live. Any day, anytime, niko na my G's. Sina ngwai on me na wana bambaris. Mama had to text me, baby hama please. Make money off this hourly. My G, if you want me, you holler me. My dick in your girlfriend's gallery. My weed and my life, that's all I need.
On me, tumindo neki tumekwa mkingoja nani. Always with my G's, tunina maninja ko ready kudedi na mi. So kama ni vita mkijonda kuja kama nimejami. Kuzoza lazima pawezi kupima jumi utembea na magwangi. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Sina time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono. Time ya mdomo, tukishindwa kubonga tutembeze mkono.
This is Rogue Radio.
Yano ranking under Mikey. 196 Ati, nimeshika black paper ili mbea gati. Njoti ndo tool kwenye ngango ya ngati. Iliki kashata makuro kwa shat. Zimerunda na lele walai zimefiat. Nikamzo, leo nikazozeze. Tanipaltazana bekazozeze. Njoti ndo tool niongeze. Kazoze, nikamzo, leo nikazozeze. Tanipaltazana bekazozeze. Njoti ndo tool niongeze. Kazoze
Nitumajani, jaba safi nafanya silale maini. Mama tawi za kidijitali iano. Leo nikazoze na jirani. Kwenye lukufisa tumepandisi ya mali. Sinywele lakini utanipata nikichana. Kaveve, kanabamba mpaka wasichana. Kashike, kazoze, usiku na mchana. Alafu nikitema siezi shindwa kudinyana. Kutema ifai, takzi nifure hivyo ndo mina furahi. Tuvunje na mugoka mpaka udhani na kuchai. Macho kukondoa juu ya venye zimewai.
Nikamzo, leo nikazozeze. Tanipaltazana bekazozeze. Njoti ndo tool niongeze. Kazoze, nikamzo, leo nikazozeze. Tanipaltazana bekazozeze. Njoti ndo tool niongeze. Kazoze Iliki katul vaite weka asili. Ongeza mastata, ongeza matawi mbili. Na leo gwedhi kanashika kwa kinawili. Mutuna wake esi kirumba ni wa mimi. Za morome zimeshika di anatoa shati. Yote zimemwonesha ni kutwa katengwati. Yoshikisha maini ya kiongeza mabati. Kazoze, kasonge na wakati. Tanipata zabe karunde na kimera. Chabani ya mandevu ras ama masela. Naishikisha na kashata kibao na mavela. Na before nikateme na katajaba na kuela. Pepa ili mbea gati. Joti ndo tool kwenye ngango ya ngati. Iliki kashata makoro kwa shat. Zimerunda na lele walai zimefiat. Nikamzo, leo nikazozeze. Tanipaltazana bekazozeze. kazozeze njotindo dul niongeze kazoze nikamzozo leo nikazozeze tanipata zanabe kazozeze njotindo dul niongeze kazoze how are you sir kan wow
oh my god it's mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai teka mali safi ndo napendaga ngoko yani kingeus kimejibebanga nateka zote TZ Kenya Uganda nipate nao tu kwa bedding kiwa mangana na jamini ya menese zijishuku zile za huku mupiganga tuputupu na saa zingine manzee mukosa mutu lakini daily na kwanga tuna kutu mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai mandoko na nikoloko yani chombo kwa soko mtoto jojo lazima pongo mkoro kwenye hii dodo na kwanga kolo kwa watoto wenye haga nono amebeba walai mpaka ndani mina penya shani jenga na bado analia bado tena mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai metaka mesaka nikapata na kwake nimedata na juu yuni mada huyo sieziacha manze yuni bamba kwanza pale kwenye haga na mapaja magizani ni mdiki kakichimbi na pige kelele juu kwa mechi ya firimbi na sasa wote kasarani ya dimuiki na style tulidogi tabia ndo za kifisi mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai mangoko wenye haga ile nono mangoko wanafanya niwe ai mimi kijana na yangu si fupi run ai na kubamba niaje mami we unajam mimi kijana kamoja kablanda bila handa siwezi blanda kwa kitanda na kwa gatu mjanja na kuganga soshani rada
Lord of mercy. Jones. Selassie. And it meet you on the broad daylight tonight. Jones. Tuna ligala zetu moshi na gomba ni kilo moja nice kakuvuta ris bila ngwai hatufai kiatu namba 11 Karen Gong representing ama ninja na wafara kamalim gwiji wananiabudu kadini pins na niko imara ka simba chaba na niko tuchai kaketepa watambwa don popo ndo mwandishi wa katiba diplomat hata sina diploma manyani ni watukane hadharani Jimmy natisha serikali kama njigi kamleshpedi wa magoro ka patni sonko na vuta umati ka mbuvi starehe mheshimiwa Charles Kanyi Kilifi kwa kina Amason Kingi nina miadi ka Kirubi nina marini kantalami napendo na wachina na walami si rangi tu sauti pia swaga do tunazidi tukushikilia zenu zinashuka zinadidimia tunazidi tunazidi tukushikilia zenu zinashuka zinadidimia tunazidi tukushikilia zenu zinashuka zina
na in the ghetto, gunshots echo beats that only death can settle. Unaseka una hiyo method, let it go on record. Makosa jina yangu kumention na hizi guilty pleasures daily tuna wrestle. Na ishi off downtown connections, top kwa food chain, natural selections. I'd brush up with the law, me a mortals taking aim at a god. Used to do it on the block, say audience me CEOs and the board. Rap economics, Forbes, lost a lot, but you on top. Brag about profit, see bodies drop. Hooked up now the hounds for the fortune. Spit now and I consume. Keep it real, no costume. New cuts but flow ni old school. Now my tracks pay me on DJ's cuts. Kufika hapa kazi tu hakuna chalap. Delivery on point na lyrics sharp.
Yeah, tunazidi tukushikilia. Zenu zinashuka zinadidimia. Tunazidi tuka. Oi, tunazidi tukushikilia. Zenu zinashuka zinadidimia. Ha, tunazidi tukushikilia. Nani mitaani broad daylight to the legalize. Tunazidi tukushikilia. Zenu zinashuka zinadidimia. Tunazidi tuka. Oi, tunazidi tukushikilia. Zenu zinashuka zinadidimia. Ha, tunazidi tukushikilia. Zenu zinashuka zina. Zenu zinashuka zina.
Shanti. Number 9, yo. They're living life of blame. Their life is just for chess. Now what they want me fail. Kwa game wasake train. Kuja wacha kuogopa nani. Kuja mbono na hema nani. Kuja ndakuonyesha mimi nani. Kuja wacha kuenda nani. Kuja wacha kuogopa nani. Kuja mbono na hema nani. Kuja ndakuonyesha mimi nani. Kuja wacha kuenda nani. Nothing was there kwa game. Shanti akikuja tu hapa kwa game. Awa marapa ni same. Daily riba ilikuwa ni shame. Nothing was popping, people were forging. Kali alibaki alone. Shanti kukama, fans kwa toka. Sai wanabonga zao, misi ogopi. Kauna mbogi, tafuta lori ni kupe manoti. Misi mchache na kuanga janjes. Bana kutoka zama mini champe. Hey, tukomboka and we don't play. Kauna pesa kakope. Uwezi nieka kwa kompe. Kanairo bado mindo tope. Itabidi muogope. Juu hapa nakuja kizombe. Na kupakiki kabong. Ikuache kwa giza unioni. Harakisha na ujabadilisha. Ebu pita hapa ndo uende. Vile unatanga na ujajipanga. Mida kate hizo mapembe. Hey, chunga venye unakuja. Mamble na miwanga na chuja. Naenda faa cheki ndula. Stari zimeja mediula. Kakamba si nimewafunga. Na wachenga kama futa. Cheki wananitafuta. Kwa game wasake train. Kuja wacha kuogopa nani. Kuja mbono na hema nani. Kuja ndakuonyesha mimi nani. Kuja wacha kuenda nani. Kuja wacha kuogopa nani. Kuja mbono na hema nani. Kuja ndakuonyesha mimi nani. Kuja wacha kuenda nani. Natetemesha karao. Maodi sukunja matrao. Wangapi wanajinao. Wakuje wabanje kwa grao. Na wapa vidonge vyao. Kenye watafanya shauri yao. Nilikuwa tundirao. Mafanso wakauliza ni hao. Awa mafala waende. Buda kwa gemi nataka nwa bebe. Walidozi walikula mchele. Wale mafala na wapa mawele. Kakadum kikipima godede. Negibado gichokorocho ere. Kakobiro na tonga toto kwere. Shantini dawa ya kimbele mbele. Wanaenda juu mimi ninakuja. Simba na nimetoa tu makucha. Kani beef muzipata kwa bucha. Kani biz nionyeshe mafuta. Nipe location wapi na kuja. Niko kwa highway nika niko juja. Saka yo mula shika yo ndula. Nimefika wakaepa ni mbuga. You listening to the best. Kelele wachia the rest. Warazi bado na wakane. Mali safi yende chain. Bado mina jenga hey. Sijali kitu mna say. No pain no gain. Kungangana kusikika kwa game. Kuja wacha kuogopa nani. Kuja mbono na hema nani. Kuja ndakuonyesha mimi nani. Kuja wacha kuenda nani. Kuja wacha kuogopa nani. Kuja mbono na hema nani. Kuja ndakuonyesha mimi nani. Kuja wacha kuenda nani.
Yeah,
we're back.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
we're back. How
Javad, we
does
should-
JKN say it?
And we're back.
You shukishia mbaya. I can't do that.
Barabara. I was gonna tell you we should definitely catch that intro. We've never done it at the same time together intentionally.
Jinx.
Yeah, jinx.
Good to be back.
Yeah, welcome
Karibu
Soli.
Soli,
Welcome
karibu
Soli.
Soli.
Thanks.
A man like Soli.
We were feeling like hii tu sama iwezi. Unajua hii bench imezoea wase watatu sasa.
Kulikuwa na joto,
Unajua
mtu ameleta joto hapa. Hey,
imeleta
please.
action.
You guys are
Kiprezo.
huko tu catching emotions over chick flicks.
And not even that, we're catching emotions over children. I'm like, yani, kids can be such a hot topic of discussion. But anyway, I think coming from the previous segment, I stand by what I stand by.
Me
and what I've
too,
said.
me too.
Yeah,
I've said.
and so does our producer. I'll just say
Me,
for him.
my
because
solution.
he does not have the mic
After
anymore.
we didn't
And
even have
for
to
all
have
those-
that entire discussion because
Uh-huh.
my solution was very simple.
Which is?
People are stupid out here, and the government saw it.
Yes.
So they have to take parents back to school.
Mm.
Yeah, watu cheki vile wanapiga kura. Dogs, all stupid lot, the whole of you. So murudi shule maumbwa nyinyi kumanda zenu.
Yeah. Na
So,
wajinga nyinyi. I believe
wajinga
Sikikaka
nyinyi.
alishasema.
Wajinga,
nyinyi.
go
So I
back
don't
to school.
understand
I hope
why parents are
I hope after a
resisting.
couple of years of CBC we can vote better next year.
Yeah.
I don't think it will do much of a difference.
I personally think it will.
So,
in
Soli,
fact,
ulisikia your show. What's your opinion before we jump into another thing?
as a man who has
Who has-
sired kids.
who has sired kids
actively.
doing CBC.
Yes.
Legally sired kids. 'Cause some of you guys have sired kids.
No, me, my kids are all accounted for.
Jav,
I don't.
that's a flex you give us often.
I can assure.
One of these days tunaenda
Wekeni-
kutoa exposed.
Ako hapo nje kama uko na mtoi wangu kama saizi.
Me, my position on the
Tag me and shame me on. Enda kwanza nini? Go to Wabare. Hakuna mtoi wangu ako hapo nje.
the way I see this CBC thing, I just don't understand how, as a nation, we can change the education curriculum twice in one generation's lifetime.
Because the first one obviously
too
was
much
a
for you.
fuck up.
No, look.
Hata
we've-
umeenda 844 it failed,
listen,
bro.
Listen. Things usually you just improve them over time.
Yes.
Yeah, a curriculum is not fixed in stone. You can improve it.
That's what we have done.
We are the first generation that has gone through 844 successfully. We are now in a position where we could have said this is what was working in 844 and this is what was not working, and then we start changing the curriculum. Personally, the first thing I would have done, I would have just changed the name from 844 to competency based. Yeah, the curriculum is still the same. Then I identify certain elements that need to be changed, and gradually over maybe like a 10 to 20 year period, we change the curriculum.
I feel like Soli there I disagree with you slightly because the CBC is the first overhaul that we've had.
Yes.
All the others have
And
been
it has ta-
addendums and changes.
It has
to
taken
parts
bits and pieces from
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah. So I feel like CBC really is the first proper overhaul, and I don't see how you can have an overhaul without changing the nitty-gritties. I truly do feel like we had gotten to that point, having already gone through 844, that we just needed to be like, you know what, guys, ikitu in a need 360.
Same monkey, different forests.
Okay.
There's nothing you've changed. You just changed maybe the content, but it's still the same teachers. The way we train our
No,
teachers
they were fucking
hasn't
trained,
changed.
weren't they?
No, they were just taken through a small course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that
Yeah,
for
small
me
course.
is the failure.
But it's a new
of the
system, bruh.
No.
Countries
They're
that-
handling.
listen,
The
that's
ones
the
who,
failure of the
the ones who are
Look
trained
at
are handling.
countries like Finland that excel in education.
I tell you,
First
Soli,
of all,
Soli is really giving us the examples here.
to be a teacher in Finland, you must have a master's degree.
Principals have PhDs.
Yes. And then, secondly, every class has like not less than two, I think like 2 or 3 teachers per
Dude,
class.
don't compare us with Finland.
No.
Kata hiyo story hapo.
Look,
Lenga hiyo story
no,
kabisa. Usilete stories za Finland.
No.
Na nyinyi ndio mmepigia hapa
Skiza.
criminals kura.
You know,
Usiseme stories za Finland.
No.
you know a people's value based on where they spend money.
That's
and
true.
personally, I don't think we spend enough money in education. I don't.
Only elections.
Yeah, I don't.
Only elections we spend. Presidents wamepatiwa 4 billion top inaitwaje top what? Cut off. Cap ya 4 billion. each. So we're going to have what, 5-6 presidential candidates? That's 6 times 4.
That's 24 billion.
24, 25 billion only on campaigns, and I'll leave it to them.
Just leave it. By
I'll
the
just
way,
leave
I
it
was
to
I was
them.
going to tell you.
There's a lot.
There's a lot to be said.
And
on that
I
point,
think it's
solely actually
a
agree
point.
with you.
It's a starting place.
It is a starting
It is a
place, and that
starting
was my
place.
point.
Yeah, of course.
Of
Me,
the overhaul
this
that you
system we
say.
do it for these kids reach
We
from
have to
4 or
start
some
somewhere.
shit like that. The face of education will change in this country for
Exactly.
sure.
And
But
I
of course,
feel like
it's being done by Jubilee, so you can expect fuck ups.
ile kurunzi for me, I truly do feel like it's not by coincidence that in the new regime, teachers unions, i.e. NUT, and no, it's NUT.
KNUT, no,
yeah.
KNUT
It's
broke
NUT and
into
KUPPET,
two.
Yeah,
KUPPET
it's
is
NUT and KUPPET.
KUPPET is a poor
Those guys
relative.
have been extremely quiet. I think
No,
I
they
had
fought it.
Sosion.
Actually,
Oh,
Nat-
Nani, no.
Nat,
That
Kuppet
Nat guy.
ni ya nini?
Kuppet ni ya
Akelo
Seko.
Missouri.
Kuppet ni ya Seko.
Seko ni TSC. TSC ndo iko in charge of walimu.
No, the Nat guy. This
No,
Nat, this
no,
Nat
guys.
of Nat is called who?
Sosion.
Sosion.
Sosion, and that's
He
what I'm
fought
saying.
this shit badly at the start.
And let me also educate you guys. KUPPET si Seko.
Ni ya Seko, ni ya Seko.
No, guys.
Universities. Kenya universities.
No,
something.
KUPPET ni ya
No.
Maseko, guys.
You eat near Seko, but you can be in high school and be a NUT teacher or be a KUPPET teacher.
Kenya
It's a union.
of,
It's a union, okay?
Post something.
Whatever it is. In fact,
But it's a political thing. NUT was becoming too powerful. They had to break NUT into parts.
and that's my point.
Yeah.
In the rise of the politics of the day and age, why have the teaching unions been extremely quiet? I think the only thing Sosion came out to say recently
Sosion fought
was
CBC
in line
for
with
a long.
politics.
He fought CBC for a
And
while.
he-
He was expressing what the teachers, the same things you guys are saying.
Mhm.
Teachers are not trained.
Mhm.
Teachers,
This-
no one is ready for this thing yet.
Mhm.
Those are the things Sosion was saying last year, even.
And
during-
I feel like
when the thing was being launched.
he was right, but at the same time he was wrong. Because yes,
there are
the-
people who've been fighting this thing for a very long time.
My
You have
question is
people
why?
Like Mwalimu Andia, she has done a good job in exposing some of the issues with this problem. I mean, you can't have something that is not participatory, that is just imposed from the top by some shadowy people. We don't even know where this curriculum came from. I hear
assume
stories that
someone
some,
who's out of
some
touch, as I have
foreign
been accused
think
of
tank
being
came
on
up
this
with
show.
it, and they impose the thing on us. Yeah, I think a curriculum should come from the people themselves. Yeah, we should say this is what we need as a nation.
Tailored to address our
Tailored
issues.
to address, and then we roll it out with the resources we have at our own pace. But when you have a curriculum that is imposed on a nation by people who think that they are better than everyone else, yeah, I just have a problem with that whole way of doing it.
Okay.
So I have to
And
question.
then also it came
fair
out,
point.
it came
Why?
like an ultimatum.
Yes, why?
Some
Why
fair
is
points.
this thing? It's a good curriculum for who? Yeah.
Okay.
To what end? Yeah. Those are the questions.
I really won't belabor on each further there because, we asked for your opinion and there we have it.
Yeah, and if you don't like my opinion, I have
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, have others.
Yes.
and if you have those others, Rogue Radio KE on Facebook and YouTube, Rogue Radio.live on Instagram, and Rogue Radio with a double O live on Twitter. Of course, our number is 0784
924 100. Let's hear it, yo.
Yeah.
Can we talk
and
about sex then?
We can
I'm
talk about.
itching.
No,
I'm
we can
itching to
t-
talk
we-
about
we,
sex.
We can talk about first date sex because we have a story here, and our tag today on YouTube is she a whore?
She's a whore.
Very, very
She's
strong.
A whore.
Yeah, very, very strong choice of words. Is she a whore?
If-
If she
let's
gives
read
it
it,
to
let's
you
read it.
on
Yeah.
the
Oh.
first night.
Would-
So, can we just
0784924
Can we just marinate in
We'll
that
just
question?
keep quiet now. You guys tell us.
Can we just marinate in that
We'll
question?
keep quiet for the rest of the show.
Yeah,
What
speaking as a woman, I have my own opinions, but let me first read the story. Hello, Pastor. My friend introduced me to a certain guy through the phone, and on the next day, we organized to meet and have a talk.
Hello,
We
who?
get to know
Pastor?
each other. Yes.
Pastor?
Hello, Pastor. Hello, Pastor. The guy was my neighbor, so we met each other around 2 p.m. in his house where we talked about everything, including our intentions and relationship status. We even prepared dinner together. Me, that's where
I'm waiting for the part.
No,
I'm
no, no,
waiting
me-
for.
me-
I'm
me
waiting
as-
for the part I'm waiting for.
No. Me as a woman, that part for supper, I'm like, Aji.
Two to
Aji.
supper wanga what?
I
8,
don't
7?
care whether I am your neighbor or not. I am not cooking jack shit. We met for a date. Mwanaume utawajibika.
Was it date
On the same night-
alikamkuomba sukari
Yeah.
and it ended up I'm waiting for the
No,
part.
no. This was planned. They
Neighbor,
planned to
unataka
meet.
how I am
See,
neighbor.
exactly. Even me, I'm like, the venue and the activities are not aligning
No,
with the
I know
date here.
I know what happens
However,
and continue.
mm,
I know where
on
I
the
know
same
I know
night-
where and that's the fucking thing I'm waiting for.
On
I
the
know where
same
it's
night,
going.
we also engaged in sexual intercourse,
there
after
we
which
go.
I went home
There we
at
go.
around 10 p.m. So dem alikam 2,
8 hours.
10. Higher. Clean. After that night, I feel very guilty and don't know what to do. You've already done it. I wanted to see the guy first, to see if we can establish a serious
At his
relationship.
digs.
But baby girl, you came, you
To
saw,
his
and
digs.
you conquered. You
In the
didn't just
bedroom.
see.
Sawa tu, sawa
Now,
tu.
I am confused because I have messed up. I don't know what will happen next. Please help. Can we have a serious relationship after what transpired? Mr. Solinsky, I want to throw this one very, very hotly to
What
you.
did the pastor
very,
say?
very hotly.
Did the pastor reply?
No. We don't even
It's
care
not
what the
important.
pastor said.
The pastor
We
did
don't-
reply.
What did he say?
I'll give you
You're
that.
going to hell.
It will be in the drop.
Yeah,
It will
please.
be very soon. Hapo tu kwa group.
Sawa basi. Please tell us what the pastor said. But Mr. Soli, as our in-house
Sex expert.
sexologist. As our in-house
No,
sex
that
expert.
is not my title.
No. Actually, you're not our sex expert.
As somebody who's seen a
I like
lot.
to refer to you as the guy who we talk to if we want to know. Ina make sense. Hey, you've marinated too much, Bana. We know we can't see your eyes. We don't know whether they are closed.
Whether I'm laughing or I'm crying.
Tell us.
First of all, this whole thing of giving it up on the first date,
Mhm.
you know, if you're not a virgin,
Mhm.
then let's just remove that whole thing.
Mm.
Because clearly you've been doing it. Whether you do it on the first date
or
you're
the
not
last
a virgin.
date. Yes.
Yeah?
Never see Vajo.
You're not a virgin.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay.
Secondly,
What just as you go on, what role does virginity play when you're a virgin? Just speaking as a lady, I would like for all the virgins out there to know. So say I'm a virgin. So history if I kuata discussed. It's not even a matter of giving it up or not giving it up on the first night. It's more of taking my virginity.
No, it's not about taking your virginity. When you go on a date, there's
Mhm.
always an end to
Okay.
that date.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in today's sexual marketplace, most of the people just want to hook up.
That's true.
Yeah. So
AKA sexual intercourse.
yes.
Mhm.
So today, when you meet someone and you decide to go on a date, especially to go to their house, yeah,
So the venue.
you should
Neutral
at the end
venue.
of it, yeah, it's going to end up there. Now
Mhm.
you can start playing games of I'll wait, what. I mean, if you really feel that it's not good to give it up, then just wait until you get married. Don't give it up. Yeah.
End of.
Yeah, just stay and say I'm not having sex until I get married. Then yeah, we can understand. But if you're going to have sex at some point, whether you have it when you first meet or later, it doesn't. I just think those are games people play, because there are people who come, they say, no, 90-day rule, I don't know what. This person is putting you on a 90-day rule because they want you to commit heavily. Yeah. But when you're on that 90 rule, this person is probably giving it up to someone else on the side. Yeah. So this to me
Actually,
is a
read
game.
somewhere
These are games,
the
these are
90-day
games. These
rule
are
is not
games.
a 90-day rule if your coping field on the other side.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
even,
it's not
even
a 90-day
if you are not,
rule.
it's stupid.
It's a 90-day
It's stupid.
hazing period. That's actually what it was called in the particular article that I was
hazing is
talking
the
about.
correct word.
Yeah,
Hazing is
because
the
and I
correct
had to
word.
agree, because anyone who puts you sort of like, you know, ni kama amekuweka parking for 90 days na bado anacheza huku kwingine, like gari inapelekwa everywhere, imetembea hizi barabara zote, but ikikam kwako ina park aje.
As Kibe says, by the time when I get Pudesh imechapwa huku nje,
It has been
it
lalishwa
doesn't
by
make sense.
every Tom,
it's
Dick,
stupid.
and then Josephine.
Me, I think it's you. You should know what you want. Go into a relationship or whatever it is.
A dating
hookup,
situation, regardless.
Meeting.
So that
of-
was perhaps
a
the
meeting
lady's
of
first
sexes
mistake, eh?
with intentions.
She went in and she's saying she wanted to come and see whether it was, like
She
the
just
guy
want-
was making sense.
alikuwa anataka
So
ku-
hiyo ndio
alikuwa-
ilikuwa blunder number 1. Ulikam bila form.
Huyo dem alikamkudhanywa, alikuwa na form. Hakuna story anasema hapo ati alikamkudhanywa fit sana.
Labda hata alikuwa na change of clothes.
and she's a neighbor.
From 2 to 10 p.m.
Huyo alikamkudhanywa fit sana.
Okay.
She's lying.
I feel like sadly, yeah, this lady was a bit too naive. for the
She's not.
21st
There
century.
are no more.
No,
There are
it's-
no longer.
guys, it's naivety.
There are no
It's
longer naive
naivety.
people in this country.
And that is
please.
what you want to believe.
I
will
class
tell you,
7
si kila mtu
chiles,
amepatana na
class
mapenzi
7
kama
chiles
nyinyi.
are hooking up with babas huku nje. There's nobody
tell you.
left naive in this country. Maybe lower primary.
If this chick, maybe this guy was just ana jamaa to just a random guy who she has no long-term interests with, it will not have been an issue. She would not be writing this email. I think that she wants something more from this guy. Yeah, that's why it's an issue. She's
Yes.
wondering, did I give it up too soon or what?
And
Yeah, that's why I'm
again
saying,
what I say.
yeah, likambila
Intentions.
form.
Intentions.
Yeah, likambila
intentions.
form, because
Huyu
again-
mse huyu mse alikuwa anataka kudhanya. The chick came and gave him. Na story yake ikaisha.
Yeah.
This chick thinks it's a relationship. The
But
guy
it's
just
not.
wanted to fuck.
Yeah. Clearly.
So, but even I suspect even this Chile wanted to fuck, and then now she wants to this guy in a relationship, but she doesn't know what to do.
Let me first. I want to give a quick definition here. Okay. Of a person naive, showing a lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. Okay.
There's no one left like that in anyone
And
over
that's where I
13 in
beg
this
to differ.
country.
I feel
there's
like
no
as
one
men,
left like
because
that.
you're so firmly rooted in logic, you fail to see that, just because it happened that time for a lady doesn't mean that will dictate
you
this
are,
time.
you're admitting that women are rooted in emotions.
Yes,
Yeah, but we know, but we know this. We know
I
this.
have
sorry.
always
So
admitted.
we know this. We know
women
this.
always make bad choices. Yeah.
Because their choices are emotional,
Yes,
not reasonable.
they always make bad choices.
Guys,
Not
every
always.
so
Not
often,
always, though.
Women have told us-
every so often you need to think with your
With-
fucking heart and
with-
not your head. If
with-
you are constantly thinking logic, there's no way you'll get ahead in this life.
Listen, you can do whatever
Not
you
in
want.
interpersonal relationships, especially. Logic
can
is
think-
fine
you
out
can-
there in the world.
You can do whatever you want. You can think with your heart, with your legs, with your stomach,
All other body parts.
with whatever, but it does not change the facts of reality.
No, women are emotional.
Yeah?
We know this. There is
So-
no debate.
So,
about this.
And
with,
what I'm
with the
debating
advent
is the
of the feminist
back into the
movement
choice.
and all that, and the birth control, where women said, no, we want to have
Pro-choice.
sexual freedom, yeah, unbridled sexual freedom, yeah, women have been making those decisions for themselves without any male guidance. In the past, it used to be that the family would be involved, yeah, before you just go out there and you hook up with anyone random. But ladies have said, no, we don't want
I
to
don't
be
need
told.
my mother telling
Yes,
me
we are
who I
strong,
can or can't
independent,
fuck.
don't need no man, and I don't even understand why you say you're strong and independent and you need a man. Because just by saying I'm strong and independent, you're independent of what? He's independent of men. So anyway, but back to that question.
Is she a hoe?
That's a very good question she asked. And I always ask people, after how many men is somebody considered
A hoe.
Yes.
Is it really the men or is it the frequency of the sex? Because I feel like I've met hoes who've had one partner.
You can't.
Imagine.
You can't be a whore with one partner. A whore, the very definition, because you love definitions, the very
Please,
definition of a
take
whore
it for us from the dictionary.
A hoe would be multiple.
is
Yeah,
a,
before
is
I
a chick
Google it
who would,
myself.
who would give it up to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Unajua? As in, as long as the dick fits, why not? Unaelewa? That's a whore.
That is my my question.
At the
that
same
I
time,
always
actually, the real definition of a hoe is a loose woman.
It's a prostitute, Mazi.
A loose woman.
She does it.
Not necessarily
to
for
you
financial gain.
pay or for gain. Let's
A
be
loose
clear.
woman would just have sex with and anything that shakes his dick at her.
I mean, there are people who say
For gain or
one
otherwise is
or-
now commercial.
Or otherwise. I was
I think he
saying
just
here
gives
on
it
the
up,
show.
really.
Yeah, kuna wale wa for profit na non-profits.
For in profit, surely. Yeah. So you don't think she's a hoe? I really want us to answer the question with a yes or no.
No, it's a question. I don't think it has a clear-cut answer. But, you know, when you read the Kama Sutra, the writer of the Kama Sutra writes and says that when a woman has more than 5 sexual partners, she loses all inhibitions. Yeah. So they draw the line at 5. Yeah. I don't know where society today would draw the line.
Draw the line.
Yeah. At, but there is such a thing as beyond a certain point. Yeah. When a woman has so many partners. Yeah.
I guess for me it's the number of partners.
I think
It's
for
always
If you've said the number of
But
partners,
still,
then
no,
let me
there
ask
are
you-
two
let me just
definitions
ask you
we're
a
fighting with
question,
here.
Jav.
Yeah?
And Muti, no offense.
Please.
Tizo asked you yesterday how many niggas you've been with.
Nikasema 20 to 30. I stick
20
by
to
that
30.
number.
So 20 to 30.
Wajitokeze kama wanataka ama hawataki.
Would you call Muti
Please, by solis mimi nimepita hiyo threshold alafu
5 times.
nikaikuja mara 6. Mara 6 kama ndo nini.
6 malayas is this one.
Malayas in one.
So hebu niambie.
Call me.
How many chicks right
Cash
now?
me outside. How
6
about
times
that?
5.
Right now kutoka enzi ya wewe ukiwa kole hadi sahi mademu wamekuwa wakigeiana on the first date. Unaelewa? Pressure ni kutoka kwa sisi mabuyos. Unaelewa? Juu obvious ukiona kitu unataka na unaidai utaiendea na uta put in as much work mpaka uget kenye unataka.
Ni kweli.
So the question is how tutaitao mayangs mashwata ama tutasema shida ni sisi juu we are upholding who we are supposed to be as men. Unajua juu
Are you though? Because one question I wanted to ask Suli is, I wonder whether the Kama Sutra puts this threshold of inhibitions and other short stories on men. Because I also find myself, when a guy's body count imefika a certain place, my G, there is literally, hata si kukua draw, there is little I'm telling that person aside from the physical. And I have truly met with guys like those. Guys who are so keen on the physical that there is nothing else they're willing to consider. And to that I just say, just walk. Maze, if sex really was your end game, it's fine. You're nifiti.
Or just mention it.
Missy die. First date, fifth date, no.
Yeah, even me, it doesn't matter the number.
I always tell people this. Men are not women.
And women are not men.
Are not men.
And that's
and you
I
should
did
never
not
compare
expect.
yourself.
You cannot
as
start
such.
saying
I'm
just
not
compare
because.
yourself.
I'm not comparing myself as such. I have asked. The same way the Kama Sutra puts a threshold on women, does it do the same for men?
So
No,
I'm not
because
saying,
1 minute.
let me tell you.
I'm not saying
men
I expect it to
respond the
also
same
be
way to
vibe.
Swali
sex
ni
as-
Muti.
as
Men
women.
don't even have sex the same way as women
Cheki,
do.
utaita jogo shwata kwa sababu yu dinya kuku yoyote mtaani. Jogo si shwata, jogo inadu kenye jogo inafaa kudu.
Biological, there's a biological predisposition.
Jogo si shwata. So hiyo kuku yenye inaendaga ikichwigisiwa kila mahali, hiyo ndio shwata.
You know, let's go and ask the professionals. So there's this pimp, Iceberg Slim, in his book Pimp. He wrote. There's a comment he wrote, and he said, after
I think he said it in court.
Can I use 3 or 4? I don't like using the H word. 3 or 4. 3 or 4. 3 or 4 is just another word for nini. You know those calculators za kitambo? If you write 3 or 4 na ukipindua hivi,
the same as Sapnapuas, but continue.
Yes.
What the heck?
You know Sapnapuas?
No.
Yeah. So when you
What in God's name are these men talking about? Can someone please put me in the loop here on the photo show?
when you put
The same, it works on the same principle.
Alanga on the street, he said that he observed that after about 5 years, they crack mentally. Yeah, they crack.
3 or 5 months.
After
Yes.
5 years on the streets.
Okay.
If Alanga is Alanga on the streets for 5 years, akili yake,
Diminishing returns.
yeah, anatupa mbao.
Maya.
Yeah. And this is something
Just
he
because
observed,
women can't have sex
because-
the same way men do.
Yes, because sex has a different effect on women than men. And I've seen many
And it's
women
all fine
here.
when we're
That's
talking
why-
about mental, but
Yes.
when we talk about biology,
Biology
then-
first is even worse because men are predisposed, to fuck.
To be sexual. We are
Ni
sexual. We are
sawa,
spread the
ni
seed.
sawa,
beings.
but you have still not answered my question. But Soli, just
What is the
finish.
question?
Does this threshold apply to men? It was just a very simple yes
But
or
I
no
thought
question.
we've answered your question.
No,
Several
you
times
have
over.
not. You have gone round and round and told me all those other comparisons of
Yeah,
men and
because
women.
men are not women. You can't use the same standard.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
And the way men have sex is certainly not the way women have sex.
And this is true.
Yes.
I'm not even going to sit here and refute
Yeah,
that.
that is why
Yeah.
a woman being fucked for 5 years cracks. That is 1,000 men you
A
can't
nigga
handle.
getting fucked for 5 years.
A
That
nigga
nigga
can
is
fuck
okay.
for the rest of his life and not crack. Even if even if a man is a prostitute.
You know the fact that you guys are not willing to admit that sex has effects on men, regardless of the quantity or quality. That for me is actually the thing that I'm taking away.
Everything has effects.
What effects are you
but
talking
the effects
about?
are different for men than for women.
And that one we can agree. But
Yeah.
let's not refute that that guy is still not the same as the guy who's had one partner. Okay?
You
Or the
know-
guy who's been in steady
you know,
relationships.
We say a lock that is opened by any key is a shitty lock. Eh?
That's true.
Absolutely
Even me, I
useless.
wouldn't get that padlock.
And
Absolutely
a
crap.
key that opens any lock is a master key. Yeah. So you can't use the same standards. I always tell
That is
people,
actually the pitfall.
What builds
You cannot
a man
compare men and
destroys
women.
A woman. What builds a woman destroys a man.
Okay.
If sleeping around, a man sleeps around is considered a hero, a champion or something or whatever. Yeah. A woman does that. It's different. Yeah.
I really feel like a guy who sleeps around,
Hmm.
that's just community dick. And it's fine if that is what a woman would like. But yeah, that's not some shit I would take. And that was simply my point.
Yeah, that's
For me, even for a guy, your body count is still very telling
No,
of
body count for
who
a
you
man
are as a
and
person.
and a woman are different.
It may be different, but does it change the fact that it still changes you and alters who you are as a man? No. That
I
for
doubt
me
it.
Everything
does not
changes
stand.
and alters you.
It
Even
does
life
not stand.
changes. and
Not as
alters
much
you.
as it
barely
changes a woman.
alters a man just as much as it would alter
As much as
women's.
it alters
Sawa,
women,
sawa.
it's inversely
Again, you guys are still
proportional.
not
you see.
admitting jack shit, so let's just move on.
No,
Is she a whore or not? Let's go. Let's actually get back to our subtopic.
Personally,
please.
I would like a chick who gives it up on the first day.
Okay.
Life is so much easier. If
Uh,
that's
for-
what you want,
for-
mtoe hiyo story kwa,
for
get it out of the way.
for serious situations or no,
It doesn't matter.
regardless.
Yeah, regardless.
So you wouldn't-
You'd
you
still
would-
take her seriously,
Yeah, I
even
would.
if she gives it.
Yeah, I
up.
would. I wouldn't think that's a whore.
Sawa.
A whore would be unatoka hapa then you go to the next 10 niggas.
Okay.
But
Okay.
sasa acha nikuambie Jav, unajua you've put a very thin line on that shit.
It is a very
Because
thin line
because
actually, sadly.
I used to be of your school of thought, lakini from experience nikaona unaweza ambia yanks akam kwako sawa, hata toka hapo aende adinywe kwingine, lakini hata akiwa na wewe kuna mtu mwingine anamvibe, unanipata?
So you make sure your game is stronger.
Umeinyorosha leo haimaanishi ati hauna games.
No, there's a way you can even right
Sahi
down to
Jav.
a small thing like fucking a chile.
Sahi
You
Jav.
can come at her and she refuses
How many
to leave your shit.
how many chicks would you get like off the app Tinder?
Wako tu wengi sana.
Wako wengi. Na huo yanks anaweza malizana na wewe juu yako mboka. Unajua? Yeye si ati yeye ni mboka. We ile yenye wewe utatuma yenye nani yenye Kevo alituma asubuhi.
Yeah, fair.
Ndio anakam nayo kwako.
Hata panda Uber anakam na mat. Ndio we utoe hiyo ingine hiyo 2,000 ikue leo
nimepigwa miti mara 3 na niko na thao
But that you see, that's a whole. That one is doing commercial business.
Hiyo ni commercial.
job.
Niambie saa hii ni mademo gani na hii COVID hawajafanya hiyo shit. Ni mademo wangapi saa hii wako OnlyFans ndugu?
Wako wengi. That one is a
anakuambia
fact.
hata kuna mwenye hayuko OnlyFans ametengeneza ka video kenye anaeka ka group hivi. Wewe mazee tuma mbao ni kutumie nude. Unajua?
Yeah, they're all over. They're all over for sure.
It's everywhere. So
but
right
now the question
the
question is what chiles are you on the same merit? There are some chicks who are not doing this shit.
For me, it's about where you get the chick.
No, what kind? Really, more importantly, what chicks are you targeting, bruh?
So because where you get the chick determines the sort of behavior. You can, unajua, show me.
Oh, madam, what Tinder sijui nini? Those ones we know. I show you. We know those ones you are going to have to pay. You see.
Saa hii Jav Rosafi, mimi si judge dem na hata juu anaweza kuwa amekam na mademu wenye wamevaa fiti, wanakaa poa, wanaongea.
You wanna undo, they are working girls, bro.
They are working ama they
are working girls.
Kuna working girls. Kuna working girls.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's exactly what I didn't say working girls. I said they are working girls. Every time I come to this house and you don't want to sit down.
Let's go back to that question that the lady asked. And I think the issue here was what was her intention?
Yes.
No, she's feeling like a whore, really. That was her point.
And you see, that's the thing.
She's feeling like a whore because she was kamatwad.
Let's try and help her. Let's try and help her.
We are father, bro.
She went to her pastor. But we here on the 420 show, 78492, we'll be asking.
My kids, I know them, 3 of them. She will learn through the world.
What do you think the lady's problem is? And I'm going back to this as I pull up her question, which was, can we have a serious relationship after what transpired?
What is a serious relationship is the
for
question.
her, seemingly, she wanted to see, engage, like based off the narrative, alikuwa nataka kukam, ajue umse intentions zake ni nini, na relationship status yake ni ga, relationship status yake ni
ga. Alikuwa nataka tu sex.
You know,
so umse ashapata sex. So does it even matter what information he gave her?
A guy.
Yeah. He could easily have lied.
You talk about these things early on, man. You decide, are we fucking or are we probably fucking and going into a relationship, you know? Jama maybe just wanted sex. Dem amekwamia hapa ataka relationship. It was not there. The guy probably doesn't want it. She needs to go back and talk to that guy. Or tell us what they agreed before they fucked, you know?
That's true. That's true.
So we need to put some frameworks in place, and
I love you, Mr. Systems.
We put some frameworks, so for people to understand the issue, because it might sound like a small thing, but there are certain parameters things that you need to understand to be able to answer that question.
Yes.
So, you know, we say you go out to date. You have to do it intentionally. You have to know what you're going after.
And that's why I said the mistake number 1 for this lady is that she went out without having known what that thing was. Alikuwa anaenda kucheck, which is something I would actually fault very women. So sorry to hijack what you're saying. Very, very many ladies go out without knowing anangoja kucheki rada niga.
Na mse wanga anajua every time.
And na sindio nakwambia, the problem and the thing I've come to realize that is very unmatched is that whereas women go out to find out, men always come knowing.
Yeah.
So if you're a woman who's caught sleeping and not knowing,
game ni game. Utamangwa utoke for 20 show.
But back to you, Mr. Suli.
Utamangwa ukama hapa tukuchekelea.
The bit of the intention.
That's why I call it the meat grinder.
Life is
ukikuja, you'll go through the meat grinder. When you're through the meat grinder, you'll be tender.
Yani wasema mmenipora charger nini?
You'll be willing to learn. So this is the thing. First of all, the only thing you find out there is trauma. That's what ladies need to understand. This thing you're saying, Ati, I want to go out, I want to get experience, nini. The only thing you'll get is trauma. And then you'll take that trauma and you'll bring to your husband to be dealing with.
Who didn't even, the guy wasn't
ghosts of dick past. Have you watched
Christmas past? Ghosts of dick past.
Dick mass.
Guys are harsh out here, man. Madam, so, serious.
There, you know, if I want,
experience
if I
thing.
want, depending on what I want, I know which market to go to. Maybe I can go to Gikosh, I can go to River Road, maybe I can go to Village Market or whatever. So the same way, there are different markets. And we say the main markets places are, one, there's the labor marketplace, yeah. Then there's the sexual marketplace, and then there's the relationship marketplace, yeah. There's also a social marketplace, but I won't get into that right now.
LinkedIn.
So,
Umsako LinkedIn.
So,
leave it. He must.
Depending on what you want. You see, when you come to labor marketplace, you know, you go, you get your degrees, what, and you think just because I have degrees, I should be able to get a good man. You getting degrees and qualifications only qualifies you for the labor marketplace. Your employer would love you, but that is not what men look for. Yeah, men don't look at a woman based on vile amesoma.
Huyu ni PhD huyu.
Kwanza those ones.
And to what you're saying, I want to add, not all men, because some men do look for these things.
Tuacha tuendelee. Now,
because
you know, you're talking about the exceptions.
Not even
you're
that.
Talking generally.
But I live as an exception solely. I only talk about exceptions. That is me being arrogant to the 420
We are
show.
having a general conversation.
My question is this.
Yes.
Doesn't how I qualify in the labor marketplace prove my pedigree in the relationship marketplace?
Actually, your social standing proves more your pedigree than your labor.
Than my labor?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Sawa,
Yeah.
sawa. Cool. That's very, very important for me personally.
Can I break,
I'm extremely glad that I
can
found
break
that
your
out.
heart, Muti?
Yes.
Njue Njagi says on YouTube, yeah. Hakuna kitu Muti anasema hapo. A man who sleeps around can never be in the same league with a woman who sleeps around.
And I'm not saying they're
no
in the
matter
same
the
league.
body count.
I'm not saying they're in the same league. I'm just saying in my book, say
That's what I'm
hana difference.
si
For
ndio-
me who
si
hunts
ndio
both
league-
genders.
si ndio league hiyo.
Si ndio nasema for me who hunts both genders. Ukamna body count yako ikiwa juu na dem fulani akamna body count yake imecheza
Unawahepa
tu
wote.
polite. Hi please. Na kutoka clean even if it's just for sex. Because I do not believe the quality of sex will even be the same. I'm sorry.
Experience
When you're
either.
used to
Msee ako na
treating women
experience.
like pieces of meat and slabs, I'm sorry. No. Hakuna vile tunaweza pelekana.
Muti, hata nikwambie kuna mwanaume
ni
mwenye
show.
ananyoroshanga hiyo kitu daily, yani as in ni mboga ya kila siku, unaelewa? But
and we know his
akipatana na wewe
We know
hata
his name.
kutreat kaho, unajua?
No, si
hata
vile
kutreat
unanitreat.
Sio maneno ya kutreat.
Si story za kunitreat,
Nini,
ni vile
nini?
unaniandaa. Cheki.
anakuanda best. We shida yako ni anakuanda best sana hadi ubelieve, unajua?
Hata
Hutaki
siamini.
kuamini, yani inaonja hivi na body count yake ni chwani.
And they are real chicks
Turn
with
that
that
ego
problem.
down.
They're real
Okay,
chicks they're
haya,
struggling with
sawa,
that shit.
Sawa, cool. Okay, let's
So,
proceed.
as I was saying, so the labor marketplace,
yes,
yo utapeleka madegree zako na huko.
Mali
Your
zinafaa.
employer will love you,
mali
and the more
zinafaa.
degrees you are, the more valuable you are to them. But that does not transfer to other areas. Now,
Okay.
sexual marketplace is different. That one is
body count,
sex appeal, vile unakaa, being fit, feminine, all that. Yeah. Men are visual. That's, I think, the first thing that men look at. Yeah. Is she pleasing? Yeah. So there's that the sexual marketplace. Now, for the sexual marketplace, when it comes to sex, women are the gatekeepers of sex. Women are the ones who decide.
Ideki
who I'm
inapita ama ideki
Ama
haipiti.
Yes. And sex appeal is the criteria for that. Yeah. There are people who just ooze sex appeal, yani. Namwangalia tu hivi.
Anamwagika. The sex is just flowing off him or her.
Unamshika hivi ushamaliza. So
wengine
and then
wanaona
now
tu.
there's the relationship marketplace.
And these are play with
Yeah.
all play with different rules.
When it comes to relationships, men are the gatekeepers of relationships. And when we are looking for somebody for a long-term relationship,
Mhm.
the criteria is different.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
we don't use the same criteria.
Okay.
So when you meet a man, it depends on what he's looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, if he just wants sex,
Mhm.
yeah. If he wants a relationship,
Mhm.
he'll use a different criteria.
Mm.
And unfortunately,
Mm.
today for
Especially
the
for women.
woman,
Mm.
Ajui rada.
they are not
They're not reading the room.
they are not equipped and
Mm.
prepared
For real though.
for
For real.
relationships.
I think
If anything, they consider marriage as slavery
it is.
and things like that.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for and what you're qualified for. Because men are not stupid. Men built this world. So we can see it doesn't matter how stupid the media likes to portray men.
Mhm.
Men are not stupid. They
Mm.
know. They can see. So
Mm.
when it comes
the
to
things they know, by
relationship-
the way, I can also say men know the things they know. The
Yes.
things they know, but the things they don't.
for relationships is there's what
Oh,
we
God.
look for relationships.
Mm.
Yes. For somebody who will be a long-term partner.
Okay.
There's a different criteria which is not I mean sex will add on to it.
Mm.
Yeah. But a man would rather go down on looks and up in factors like cooperation, from
Character
a woman
even.
and
Mm.
character.
Mm.
Yeah, so looks is not the end all be all.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's something very shocking for many, what I'd say many people of my age group.
Mm.
Anytime a friend tells me, hey, I'm getting married, the first thing I always go to check is like their couple photos. Because I have found the irony is that for both genders, they will often mark down in the look sector for the people who they choose to settle down with. I have seen fine shorties, yani girls who you would not be able to touch in the daytime because of how good they are. But you see the guys are settling down and
Makifaru
it's
tu.
like, okay. And vice versa for the guys. I'm like a guy who you know from his dating history has dated very, very beautiful women. But when you eventually see the person who they are coming to, like, settle down with, it's like, huh? What? So I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, so it's
So
the
now-
relationship marketplace is quite different.
Now,
It's a totally
so
different.
there are
yeah.
things like youth and all that people look for. Men
Mm.
prefer younger people
Of
for
course.
long-term
Yeah.
relationships. So the problem today is that a lot of women have been sold that feminist lie of, chase your career, finish, get your degree, get a job, a car, a house. By the time you're getting all those things lined up, you're like in your 30s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not like in your
Late
30s.
30s.
Yes,
You're
you're like
probably
mid-30s.
squarely
Mid to late.
in your early
Yes.
to mid 30s.
Mid to
And-
late.
And unfortunately, marriage is a young girl's game.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's a young girl's game.
You
It's not
still
for-
go for my fucked up cousin who just
Yes.
came from Strathmore University and not
Yes.
me who is actively there
So
with a paycheck.
even me today, I
And
tell
experience.
someone, get a young chick, maybe 23 there,
Mm.
maybe they're around for
Hawa
marriage.
watakupeleka fiti.
Because here is the irony. Wahenga walisema
Mhm.
mpanda ngazi
Mshuka.
na mshuka ngazi
Mm.
hawafanyi nini
Wapatana.
ama hawashikani mkono.
Mhm.
Whatever. I like to use hawashikani mkono.
Aha.
Yeah. Now, a woman's sexual prime or her prime years are
Mm.
between 18 to maybe about 28.
Mhm.
Yeah. And a man's prime is
Later.
later. Yeah. So, a lot of modern women are selfish in that they decided to take their prime years for themselves.
Mm.
Ni zetu.
Mm.
And then now when they're on the
I
decline,
am there, by the way.
when they're
our
on the
camera is
decline,
gone. Oh no.
when they're on the decline, now they want to come and tell a man, I call it the bait and switch. Now, let's get married.
Mm.
So that I raised your wave. And me, I'm telling men, usidanganywe, get a young chick who's in her prime and you're in your prime. You build together. You'll get the most value out of that. And even her, she'll get the most value. But this other one is just, sema iko kitu inakula ingine.
Something is biting each other.
Kikulacho, bro. Kikulacho.
Something is
Iko kitu
biting each
inakula
other.
ingine.
Solly, you still have not answered our question. Is
Yes.
she a whore or not?
And I'll return you to the question I asked. Yeah. After how
Today is
many
that show.
partners is somebody considered a hoe?
Okay.
So you are evading again another question.
Yeah,
I'm
not
not
even
saying
that.
saying makosa
Yeah,
hapo.
as
I'm
in, ata say anything. By the way, I'm done. I'm actually done.
I'm not evading the question. By the way, it's a question I've asked, and if you've been with me long enough, I always ask people that question. I always ask people that question, and I've never. The only conclusive answer was that one I saw for the Kama Sutra. They said for them five after 5 partners.
Chora line.
But I can tell you, the more there have been studies done, the more partners a woman has, the less or the more likely she is to not stay in a relationship. Yeah, that's why body count is very important for men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. For her, I don't know her body count.
We don't know these things.
I don't know her body count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if her body count has reached to the point where
it's unsalvageable.
Yes, it's unsalvageable.
Bring it back.
It's been her nini. Her nun has been vandalized.
It's called what does Kibe call it in that show of his? Nunu rejuvenation.
If she has reached those levels, and then they go to rebrand in the church, yeah,
wanaenda wanaeka 22 kule, wanaeka ma rims mpya kule, wanaeka mpaka new paint work, new body work.
I'll tell you something that men know, although a lot of young men don't know.
Wafundishe.
Tell them.
You can't turn a 3 or 4 into a housewife. Thank me later.
Snoop said it.
That's true.
That has been around even longer than Snoop. It is something men have always known.
Okay.
So if you apply the number of body
again,
count
we are
and
stuck
all
because we are still stuck at the definition of a whore.
Yes.
So again, you've evaded. Sorry, thank you.
And thank you for just evading and continuing to evade,
and bringing Snoop and
seemingly
whatnot.
Seemingly and continuing and just wow. Okay.
So again, what do you guys think? 0784
maybe the
924
audience
100.
can help me. I'm
YouTube,
stuck.
we are live on YouTube. Rogue Radio KE. Comments. There's no new comment here, I'm saying. Is there? So that's the one for Muti and body counts.
Amesema nini?
I read
what
it earlier.
had he to say?
Women are not in the same league with. Okay, let me read it. Hakuna kitu mtu anasema. A man who sleeps around can never be in the same league with a lady who sleeps around, no matter the body count, you know. I miss MC advice. Where is MC advice? I miss MC advice.
Oh my God! I actually was looking for something because I wanted to tell Suli. For me, the thing that sticks out about a guy who has an extremely high body count, and here I want to use the extremes, by the way.
Extremes.
I live as
Extremes
an
ni
exception,
ngapi?
please.
Extremes ni ngapi? Tao mbili.
No.
Magic
Maze,
Johnson 10,000.
Ikipita so brav, tunaanza kuangalia.
By the time Magic Johnson caught HIV, alikuwa na count 10,000.
Yeah, no, I was also going to say I saw something that really stuck out to me, in line with men, yeah. Who I can say, by the way, men with an extreme body count, I personally consider to, if not be full-on narcissists, have some very narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, you can't turn that guy into the guy who's going to love you and cuddle you at night, into that nurturer who's going to.
Oh, you'll be shocked.
Utashanga. I'll answer you.
Please answer me.
I know what you're talking about.
What am I talking about?
A man with a high body count is what we call is select.
Actually, select.
Is select.
He's
Because
select.
Many women select that guy. Yeah, he's what you'd also call like an alpha. And an alpha will never commit. They'll never commit.
And they'll never be that natural.
That's
that
a
you want.
different animal altogether.
Okay.
They will not need. But unfortunately today, a lot of women like those men.
Yeah.
That's why they're having a lot of sex.
Because it's not.
It's technical.
No, it's not
it's
that.
natural, man.
No, in fact, today, a lot of men, by the way.
Jav, you're killing me on the show today.
No, kwela nadinya nani, bro.
You kweli, by the way.
Ni hao masho, what does
Ni hao
what does
madem.
it called?
Mashwata.
Ashwata is different.
Wagani.
Let's move on.
Mashores,
My Sheng
Manguna.
is 15 years old.
You see, so the thing is, you know, a lot of ladies are under the impression that men are just having sex left, right, and center.
And they know.
Preach, brother.
No.
Preach.
I saw
in-
a meme that said if
Preach,
he has
brother.
2 eyes, he's seeing 2 bitches. I don't give a fuck, maze. It's just the truth.
No,
Kako na macho mbili.
in
I don't know
fact-
what they
no.
Hiyo ni kutulemea
In
tu
fact,
sasa.
2+.
The
Matusi
studies
tu.
have shown that men, a lot of men today, are not having sex at all. It's only a very small percentage of men that are having
Wanapewa.
all the sex.
For the entire species.
No,
Yes.
let's translate it.
There was that case of those 2 men who have sired like 70-something toys each. Yeah?
Easy.
Just 2 jamas.
Na-
Yeah?
Small monies.
na
Small
ni
time.
one at a time.
Small numbers.
Sio ma-twins.
Small
So-
numbers.
And
So-
there's also a study that says around 30% of men are impregnating 80% of
Of
women.
women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how hapo
As in-
There's a
hapa
lot
kata-
of men who never even catch the eyes of ladies. Yeah? In fact, if the guy tries to holler at you, unampeleka HR, sexual harassment.
Harassment.
Yeah?
Come
There's a
on.
lot of men like
and
that.
they're mostly accountants.
Hao ndio wanaitwa sasa, wanaitwa incel. Kazi yao wanashinda tu kwa
Copywriters ndio
watching
sisi hiyo
porn
side
on,
ingine.
on nini. Because the way ladies are wired, there's something they call hypergamy. I don't want to get very technical, but women always look upwards. Yeah?
It's true. We don't fuck down. We fuck
And
up.
yes, they always fuck
In
upwards
the
all
literal
time.
end.
Fuck
Yeah.
up literally too.
Very, yeah.
So you find that in the social
Hierarchy.
hierarchy, there are men who are like in the bottom 10%, like that. Yeah, they're in all levels. There are men, but all women, all of them, whatever level they are, even women, they are somewhere in the bottom like that. But all these women are just looking at the top 20%. Yeah, that's why you find a lot of ladies. They get successful, they get in, and then they start saying there are no men. It's not like there are no men. The men are there, but there are no men who they would consider.
They would look up to.
They would
I
look
think
up.
that sort of takes us back to the conversation we were having yesterday. Does she love your money or does she love you? Because honestly, the issue of attraction, the 20%, it's because either the mental fortitude, as in niwase wa sharp.
No, ni
Unajua,
ma-alphas too generally.
ni ma-alpha,
Ni
ni-
In one way, shape, or
the
form.
alpha males.
ngoja.
Yeah, in one way or another.
The next factor yenye unasahau ni gani?
Kakitu.
Hata kakitu. Unajua? Juu kuna msa anaweza kuwa hapo juu lakini hana fuo, yani akili yake he's just a
The mere
cabbage.
fact that he's made it to the
Unaelewa?
20%.
The fact that he's
there's
in
something
the
he's doing.
20%,
There's
he's in the
something he's
20
doing.
Saa nani unye ako 20%
Kayuko,
juu ana-
Kayuko.
unye ako 20%. Unadhani ni
No,
mtu
him
mwanga-
is in the 20% maybe for
I think
chums,
natumia
but
the wrong example.
yeah, Unye is the wrong guy completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
But I think I actually really get
Mtu ka Joho hivi
what
looks
Sydney
like an
saying
alpha.
in that okay, back to my point of turning a narcissist a nurturer. So basically you're saying
I don't like
check it.
using that word.
Oh,
narcissist.
that end name.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
A lot of people don't even know what it means.
Yeah,
they
and
like
it is
using
often thrown
the
around.
same as misogyny and
And chauvinist.
Yeah, not even that. I will add even feminism
Even
right
is-
there.
No,
because
feminism is a different-
How often how
Feminism is a
guys
totally-
describe
You know,
feminism.
It's like that lady.
For me, it's like
Feminism is
who
called-
called-
is a
it.
slam dunk.
That's
This
not it.
lady who said, this guy is such a misogynist. I hate men. You
Men
know-
are dogs.
You know, misogyny by definition is the hatred,
The hatred of
women.
yeah.
And misandry is the hatred of men.
Mm.
So you say you hate. you-
You're calling someone a misogynist
yes, and
when
then
you're
you are saying I hate men.
The pot calling the kettle,
The kettle black.
And if we call you misandras, you start saying.
Oh, they've called me badly.
Actually,
what are those?
You know, guys, first of all, we need to go on break because
We need to go on a motherfucking break.
On the bloody break, but also just speaking as a shorty. To this woman, I would say, baby girl, uli cheswa.
Alichezwa.
Are you a hoe? No.
You're not a
but
hoe.
you are
You-
hella naive because
You didn't read the
the
room.
red flag
You
number
didn't read the
one
room.
for me is that he's your neighbor. That's just me. I do not shit where I eat. Mimi neighbor, sijui classmate, colleague, sijui what, just talker. just get out of there, okay? You're already too familiar for me, and she should have known this. For someone who has been your neighbor, na bado unaenda kujua form, mistake is on you, baby girl. Secondly, if form ina happen 2 p.m. in the afternoons in his crib, baby girl, I do not hear. This is not Pretty Woman, okay? Like this, there is no white knight coming for you to pay your rent.
Time slot yako ni afternoon. Kutoke kuna.
Si ndio nasema,
mtu
I'm like,
ameingia
unafaa
after.
kujua kuna mse kulikuwa na clean up before you. Unanipata? Yeah. Secondly, venue ni Kejani. Kejani.
No, this chick.
Alafu unasema
I'm-
ati you were happy that we made supper together. I'm
She-
like,
she
bruv,
didn't-
where is the effort
You are
on
being
this man's
fattened.
part?
You are being
You have come
fattened for
to
the
his
kill.
place. He is doing.
But
He's
you're
not
cooking
even
his
lifting a
food.
figure, and you're not. You're not about to start cooking the food with him. Nah.
No, she didn't
It's
read
just
the room.
it could be me
I'm
being
starting to see she
old-fashioned.
was naive. I'm starting to
No,
see she's
nasema,
naive.
it could be me who's old-fashioned, but I do believe a man has to put in some sort of effort on a first date. This is actually my first impression. I'm sure she went there in her best dress, neighbor or no, and you're going to someone's crib. Nah. That for me was a second red flag. And then this now comes to the bit where now this is where she loses me. Anasema, ati we discussed. What are you discussing? This is date number 1. Whatever the fuck you discussed, he could have easily lied. He could easily have just
Which he
told
clearly
you.
did.
Which he clearly did.
He clearly lied.
Because a guy who
I'm
who,
in
who
love.
you're sure about, let me tell you, they leave no room for doubts. And this one I could be wrong. I often, by the way, I say men are what? They avoid and they are absent, often by choice. For me, those two
If
things.
someone is saying shit you don't want to
Yeah,
hear, you switch
for
off.
me, those two things. Because a guy who is serious will never leave you any doubts in your mind.
We leave no stones
He
unturned.
will leave no stones unturned, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you put your.
So sadly, baby girl, you're not a whore, but you're hella naive. Hella
no.
naive. And for any women who are listening to us here on the 420 show, please read the signs and
Soma room.
read the room. And for me, the rule is simple. Actually, on a first date, I always put a pinch of salt into many things a guy will say, because I've known men
You're
to be.
skeptical like this.
No. It's not about skepticism. I just know a man will never give me 100%.
You've been hanging out
I
with the wrong man,
I will.
Bunty.
I will always get
You've
the
been-
truth that I need to know at that moment in time.
You're hanging
Okay?
out with the wrong man.
No.
Bunty.
This one, please. Can another man just tell me that I am wrong? Because say for you, mimi vile najua wanaume, you will not give me a truth that you know could come to hurt you in the future. Wewe utaniambia tu ile ukweli yenye inanifaa hiyo time.
Give me an
Unanipata?
example of a truth that
know-
hurts someone in the future.
Actually,
3 minutes to
3
break.
minutes.
You know,
Let me read
there was a preacher who came some time back. I think he was talking about ladies dating. He used to hold ninis at KCC, and ladies would go there.
Black
And this
or
guy
white.
used to say one thing, and this is the only thing I agreed with the guy.
Mhm.
He used to say dating is witchcraft. Dating is witchcraft. This thing of we are dating for 1 year, 2 years, to what end? Yeah, you should, like, within like 3 months, you already know whether this person,
and that makes sense.
yes, we are going to get into a long-term relationship or not. We're going to get married or not. You already know.
Yes.
When you go and start meeting somebody isolated, everyone will misrepresent themselves.
That is true.
Mara ni makeup, mara ni nini, what. Everyone
Mara nimeka
misrepresents.
mnauba na nimedropiwa na besti yangu.
If you're a lady
50 bob.
Bana we.
and you're nini, you're the guy, take him to your father.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ataulizwa maswali hapo, atoke jasho.
That's true.
Na baba yako tu atakwambia, I don't want
Hapana.
you seeing that guy.
That's
Yeah?
true. That's true.
You it's very difficult to come and start bullshitting men. We'll want to know. Yeah, we know what to look for. But ladies, you get in that moment, you get all emotional, you get invested, and then now it
And solely the
becomes-
same can be said for men, because I know men who've been taken under some thorough merry-go-rounds by ladies, only
Yes.
for you to come find out a month, 2 later, hey, Mazi, this she can't do X, she can't do Y, she does X, she does Y, and you're like, eh. But
Yeah.
when we met, when we were at that place that time, that that place, and
Kwa sababu
you,
ya-
you asked me an example of
Something
a lie.
that bites you in the ass later.
Yeah.
Eh,
Are you single?
kwa sababu ya kuzoea kula kwa mapipa.
Why would I lie about that?
Now, let me switch it up for you and tell you in...
No, when we were 16 years old, we lied.
Yeah, no.
And
when
we
you're
got
16,
no pussy.
And that's what I'm saying.
And when later on, when
You
we
see,
say the truth, you get all the pussy. So what the fuck?
It's not
Doesn't
that.
add
It's
up.
the fact that often women, I think this is something even Soli has said, women, we find ourselves asking the wrong questions.
Most likely. Are you married?
A lady who asks, are you single? Me, my friend.
There
Baby
are-
girl, umenoa. The question should be, is there anyone under the impression that they're in a relationship with you?
No. The
No,
question
no,
is,
no, please.
Where can I fit in your life?
This is the question.
Where do I fit
Ion
in your
ndio
life?
swali.
That is the right
It's
question.
not about where do I fit in your life. You
It
can
is,
tell
it
me
is,
if-
it is. It
Guys,
is.
You guys
And-
are
and-
making this thing very technical.
It's not about technicalities.
You're
And
making it
Okay, we need
in
to
fact,
go on a
yeah,
break.
let's just go on a break.
Time to smoke something or other.
Yeah, mushroom cigarettes. Hashtag. Yeah, as we go on break, 0784924100 for any people who may want to give us their opinion once we're back on the break. From the break.
Later, beaches.
Staki vodo, mina taka lolo. Kidai fika kijani, mina wewe solo. Lately kuna vile na boeka, lakini me and you iyo convoy inaweza. Unatakaje, sini kugware, ni washenare, kisha ndo tusare. Weather ikiweza unaweza fika na kasweta. On your way, shika shash, kona dainta kuban. Hizi stories za warasmi, useti kabla machama wakendanga chando na kaushanga stash. Na mashuksha ndio, ni heshima za uraso, inabidi ni seti ni kinyam. Inabidi ni seti ni kinyam. Seti ni kinyam. Siku njema ni kuseti na kunyam. Basi we si useti ni kunyam.
Aki wewe.
Seti ni kunyam. Si useti ni kunyam.
Aki wewe.
Shika yam, alafu nipe tam. Juni na ham ya kuseti ni kinyam. Kunyima na hiyo mali na kuwanga ni haram. Mwezi wacha boy child ajinyonge kisadam. Shikamo, marsaba. Shikamo, hapa hakuna uhaba. Social distance ni kutumia raba. Pako saba na wesioka. Wacha ibambe geuka ni kupange. Iweke juu nami ni deliver package. Mambo ratchet najua we ni savage. Niko shingo upande na shukuta ni damage.
We tulia, kwani unaingizia? Na vile nilidhani ati umenchizia.
We wacha, nishatulia.
Hey.
Wacha kulia. Bas wacha mimi seti ni kinyam.
Aki wewe.
Seti ni kunyam. Si useti ni kunyam.
Aki wewe.
Mali safi hudai kazi safi. Taratibu mchezo haitaki ulafi. Takutibu sinasikia unavafi. Wasiwasi ya nini, let's be happy. We ni kifaa, nimekufia bidhaa. Hizo bidhaa, si unajua niko idhaa. Hindo idhaa, ya kuseti na kupaa. Bas wacha mini seti ni kinyam.
Aki wewe.
Seti ni kunyam. Si useti ni kunyam.
Aki wewe.
Vile tulikinda face South Teso na film na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma inspector. Daily shash delicious east maisha ni magumu. Alikamna jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu. Vile tulikinda face South Teso na film na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma inspector. Daily shash delicious east maisha ni magumu. alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu. Korozo nipandisha mahanja mtangumeste kiungware ni kuleti kiutepa. Mokoro yoni chenjia darasa wiki ya pili mas nichoree mesti na hepa. Morodo tunapenda rayo nipaniki mix na bale jo fetish katepa. Wasoro wamenikomilia kwa rasa ilibidi nimesare hizo fake tissue paper. Bora bazinga kwa njia ni aoshwe, sumtokea na nyuma. Nika exile ya Tanzania manze from Alinun ni magode hadi kucha. Jadi after wa second tambua Nairobi alumni Mayonde alinuna. Yulsho msela tizi mwana FA na kuombea ukimuja. Spona Fadhela Busia mwana wefe aliongea na Kiluya. Tunapiga round kundi sita Ugenya vipingo na kisiku thikita. Mbesha ikinrudisha jiji jua ningeta. Weather iko na hudi jizi chini ngepa. Ushindanga na mi utachizika. Ushindana na sini kujizika. Utarienga ukipingana na fisi kuringita. Ukiguza unalipa. Vile tulikinda fesa udhiteso na filmi na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma-inspector. Daily shash and delicious east maisha magumu. Alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu. Vile tulikinda fesa udhiteso na filmi na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma-inspector. Daily shash and delicious east maisha magumu. Alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu.
Kenya defense iko strict kwa boda kupiti maingwa. Na vile kumejai migrants. Judge A, lawyer B na karawa lipata C-. Water lineup. Round imesimama. Back home akapatwa na plane. Sema kushandwa, house wachenge ama kutafuta bail. Weapon si gun pekee, mtu wangu jot neza kumada na pen. Ulimi pia udefend, uliza peng aliyeveda jirep. Form ishachorwa, cheki print ya anti amevadera. Whistleblower, Central ilikuwa David Sadera. Na ugopa tukelelea umbu huku jo watu wagopi malaria. Utaibiwa mtumba na chuma, you utawagopi kuumeria. Ruma area, jana magizan walidunga rumba wakasepa. Nduru Kibera, lisikilia madiwa ikasemekana leta. Niliambiwa ni control temper, ama ntupe hiyo ndenga. Aje na fan alidai misi gangster, ni venye mi utema. Show walituko last minute, na tukupunguza watatenga. Blankets, walikata ningie na wine yangu last December. Vile tulikinda fesa udhiteso na filmi na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma-inspector. Daily shash and delicious east maisha magumu. Alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu. Vile tulikinda fesa udhiteso na filmi na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma-inspector. Daily shash and delicious east maisha magumu. Alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu. Vile tulikinda fesa udhiteso na filmi na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma-inspector. Daily shash and delicious east maisha magumu. Alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu. Vile tulikinda fesa udhiteso na filmi na bada bing tulicheso. Private jet na ni chest na suicide bomb aligenya ma-inspector. Daily shash and delicious east maisha magumu. Alikamla jaba kadhani ana nguvu, si tulimnyonga na njugu.
Non-stop music.
Oh my God! Yo, son, you're listening to www.roadradio.live.
Kwa nini kesho? Sikia, kwa nini kesho? Jo, si kesho. Ay, sikia, teki, 5-8. Mnajuna get smoky, kila time tuna step on roads. Moko active kwa gang, says the fold. Yo, what's up in yo? Chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Yo, what's up in yo? Chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Mnajuna get smoky, kila time tuna step on roads. Moko active kwa gang, says the fold. Yo, what's up in yo? Chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Yo, what's up in yo? Chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Aye, what's up in yo? Or your favorite rapper capping. Young Boggy, Johnny Hype. These niggas in streets, they rap and drill and take over 254. Na 58 tumekam kushati. Tumewaka nare bila mastic. Big boy nina go bila green. Big boy nina slide ski. Tena nane ananenia mamblena. Hizi streets na high link. Babi nimemleta kwa trap. Anadai kujua kudrill. Babi nimemleta kwa trap. Anadai kujua kudrill. Demon time, killer time. Wana kompe na Lucy. Taji nao mimi ni nani. Sihitaji kuprove it. Hika Nairo nishakwa Buddha. Nishakwa Fulji. Na refa veto na nane. Brooklyn fully. Demon time, killer time. Wana kompe na Lucy. Taji nao mimi ni nani. Sihitaji kuprove it. Hika Nairo nishakwa Buddha. Nishakwa Fulji. Na refa veto na nane. Yo Brooklyn fully. Sim na jina get smoky. Kila time tuna step on roads. Mokwa active kwa gang siezi fold. Yo wasa in yo chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Yo wasa in yo chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Sim na jina get smoky. Kila time tuna step on roads. Mokwa active kwa gang siezi fold. Yo wasa in yo chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Yo wasa in yo chunga you don't get splashed with cons. Yo, skia, take it, kwa nini kesho? Kwa nini kesho? Yo, 5-8-5-9. Yo, first up of wow, check it, kwa nini kesho? Yo.
Cash boy in the bed.
Check him man, yo, niko konyagi kang, bila ta chesa kang, mina the bangi gang, machinery gumalang, span diet hang, bigger sticky kang, mzinga ingine I'm done, natema nikani na fang, ni motojo wapi mafan, sukata maji for fun, iwe ni deka majan, hangover na bado silan, ngwara na pita na log, konyagi na piga machok, kijani nimecheza mastok, konyagi kwa chupa sirok.
Kombosho tukosiki half, kwenye ngine tukosiki joint. Blanda kuseti na cheng, na basu na dai 2 yengs. Slay queen alia 2 heni, na kwa mfuku na robe makali. Peng toti shako ni blanda, dai ni chaz na yonanga. Timukia tutambuke za, utudhan masatu mzima. Kutoa lock bila chesa, ndio form miwazea. Kushu spasi yolika, mina sikia tukuzima. Kushu spasi yolika, mina sikia tukuzima.
I pull out makali mzinga, manika be tripping ujinga. I told them, gonna be cool, niko na waba pa nyuma ya dinga. 1 shot, 2 shots, paka konyagi kaisha. Nikakimbia kwa lika, just for chest, konyagi mzinga. Kimi konyagi wachana na hii, suna rada. Hii nema big man G, vodka ram, whatever you call. Don't give a damn, leta ni seti. Wacha ni kreki, zikishika na feki. Mina sikia tukudedi.
Welcome back to the motherfucking 420 show.
Okay, so we're back. Imagine.
It
we're
is
back.
what it is.
That's my Hollywood voice.
We're back,
When
Menjeles.
Nyamazeni, come on.
Just,
That's my
oh.
Hollywood voice.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Welcome
sorry.
back to the 420 show.
It sounds like what?
This is what baby love.
I knew it. I just knew it was coming. Nilikuwa najua tu. Nilikuwa nangoja.
Msali ni maliza.
Jav, you have to get another one. Yeah?
What
Who
baby
else?
love.
There's
Rick Dees was a pretty good too.
Rick Dees used to be a bit
High-pitched.
wait, what's his name? Makbul Muhammad.
Mak-
How does that one do it for you?
Makbul Muhammad, who the fuck is that?
Makbul,
Mm.
the actor.
Oh,
the
that's
presenter of Capital.
I don't. The guy who does this stupid show.
Yes, Vashita.
Vashita.
Mhm,
Come
mhm.
on. I've never heard him outside that show.
No. He's a dope voiceover artist.
The best ever guy on air anywhere.
Anywhere.
Do you watch Al Jazeera?
Yes, I do actually.
The Pakistan reporter.
Which one? They're like 50.
There's a particular. I keep forgetting his name.
On Al Jazeera.
On Al Jazeera.
That's the guy.
I'm
He's
sure,
the man to
I'm sure he
beat.
must be hot right now because of Afghanistan.
And you
Afghanistan.
know, we actually have not discussed people.
Afghanistan.
People
I have a
might
friend
think
in
on the 420 show
Afghanistan.
we have no hearts.
I have a friend in Afghanistan. I
Ah.
just talked to him during the show.
Mhm.
Amekata kuongea.
Anasemaje?
But shit is tight there, like tighter than a handshake. man.
Jav, Ebu, just give us a quick summary of why it's so fucked up in Afghan right now.
Because of America, really. Everything is because of America.
Trump did it.
It's not Trump.
Trump
Trump hastened it,
Mm.
but it was
As-
fucked
as
up
he-
from the
as he has
start.
done
as
so
as he
much
has
more.
done for everything.
Mm.
As it's a bad situation. They've taken over the country.
Yeah,
President.
I don't
ran-
see what Trump did. Everyone likes blaming
No,
Trump.
let me, because you
He
are a
can't have not
Trumpist.
done
That's why.
anything. So
Let me tell you what
he
happened.
can't have not
let,
done
let- no,
something.
let me tell you what.
You can call me what you want to call
let
me.
me tell you what Trump did, because
What?
you don't listen to anything outside Trump.
No.
The guy who was the president of Afghanistan, he landed yesterday.
Mhm.
The head of, what's his name? Taliban.
The Taliban.
Mm.
He landed in Afghanistan yesterday. Where
Mm.
was he before this? He was in fucking prison in Pakistan. They
Okay.
caught him.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't have a leader. They were all over the place.
Yeah.
So Trump went and released this guy to negotiate with him a handover. And that's why Taliban have taken over today.
What,
He
what- let me-
released the guy.
Let's ask. First of
This
all,
guy was in prison, bruh.
okay.
Trump removed him from prison to literally come and take over the country. And even negotiated with him terms of surrender. Not, whatever it is, surrender or take over.
Okay.
So generally, it's an American fuck up.
No,
I was
it's
talking.
not an American.
It's an
fuck up.
America
It's-
fucked
no,
up
no,
in that
look,
country.
being in Afghanistan was not in America's interest. They wanted to.
So
pull
why
out-
did they hang around for 20 years?
I don't know. Ask the previous administrations. why they
Actually,
did.
Yeah,
the whatever is pretty simple. They were there for
I
the
don't know
natural
what.
resource. The
there's
same
there's
reason,
nothing in Afghanistan.
they're here.
There's nothing in Afghanistan. The same way in Rwanda.
No, actually,
In Rwanda, do you know why white people didn't come to Rwanda?
Yeah, there's quite
The
a bit
Rwanda-
in Afghanistan. There, Jav.
What is it they're looking for? We've not seen. Okay, they raped it.
It's petroleum or is it oil?
No, it's not petroleum.
It's petroleum.
It's not oil. It's natural gas.
It's natural gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they ate it for 20 years.
They have
assume.
been eating it for 20
Either
years.
way,
You see, it's like Jav. if
America
right now.
pulling out of Afghanistan.
Mhm.
It's in the best interest of the Americans.
Precisely. There's nothing more to eat.
Yeah. So why are you guys blaming Trump for acting in the best interest of his people?
I feel like
Then why is it a problem for everyone now?
No, why is it a problem? Yeah. Hmm? You know how expensive it is to go to be in a prolonged, sustained war. It's very expensive.
Yeah, they
on
spent
any-
trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Trillions and trillions.
So Trump just came and says, no, I don't see why we are there. Pull our people back. We don't need to be wasting money in that country. Let them sort out their own. And that was Trump's position. Let people, he never used to interfere. That thing of foreign interference. Yeah? People complaining are people of NGOs and what? Are the ones who the money
people complaining are
people
those
like
who are
pushing.
benefiting.
Yes.
No,
from
the
the
people who like
American
pushing
the people who are
presence.
benefiting were the Americans.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
Exactly.
They've
And-
eaten for 20 years. There's nothing more to eat.
And now-
So they fucking leave. And
Yeah, but it's in their best interest to leave.
I don't feel it is, but more
Americans,
importantly,
let's understand Americans.
the interest that they have as a country and the interest that they have in a foreign country, for me, is it's the same argument we're having with Kenya and Somalia right now, is it not? Yeah,
Mhm.
we pulled out our forces. It has backfired or not backfired in the way that it has. Right now, we are now in talks, going back with the same country, and we're about to reoccupy. Yeah? Now with the Brits hot on
But
our heels.
Why did Kenya
See,
go to Nini with Somalia?
Resources.
Because
We're
they are-
playing America.
No, we are playing America, but also for us, it's in our best interest.
It wasn't
because
about resources. Kenya, I think that's something to do with a
Al-Shabaab.
lot of
To stop
money that was
Al-Shabaab.
it was coming into
Somalia.
Kenya, illegal Nini, that was being channeled from all those things into Kenya, and it was affecting the economy in Kenya.
They told us Al-Shabaab, obviously.
Of course, and there was also that issue of insecurity because
Exactly.
Al-Shabaab kept blowing up things in Kenya.
The same Kenya
Actually,
government,
Al-Shabaab
the same
kept
Kenya,
blowing
the
up
same
things
Kenya army
everywhere.
that was doing charcoal business with Al-Shabaab
Yeah, I mean,
inside Somalia.
I don't agree with that, but
It is documented.
yeah, I know. No, I'm not saying that I don't agree with it that it did happen.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't agree that I don't think it was the right thing to do.
To go into Somalia.
No, to like when you go for a mission, you go on the mission. You don't start engaging in side businesses like charcoal.
With the guy you're fighting. That's what pissed me off the most.
I feel like in the case of Kenya and Somalia, the insecurity was the thing that was highlighted.
That's what
And
they
the
sold.
insecurity
that
now
was our
led
WMD.
them. And that's what I'm
was our
saying. The
WMD.
insecurity led them to chase the money. And when they did chase the money, what did they find? They found that this same Al-Shabaab wanatutatiza huku and beyond borders, wanatoa hizi pesa. Hizi pesa zinatoka to and fro. You know, they are operating this money however they want with no standing.
Yes.
And they're using it to perpetrate other things
And to
elsewhere.
collapse
Because you
our
guys are
economy
forgetting
too.
that the
Collapse our
Al-Shabaab
economy.
was not just a problem for Kenya. It was a problem for the larger and greater Africa and the Middle East, right?
I mean,
Al-Shabaab ilikuwa na perpetrate vitu nyingi sana. Like, even in the US, I believe Al-Shabaab has claimed several attacks. So, it was an incel that had to be destroyed.
Yes.
It had to be destroyed. What's the quickest way to do it? Through money, okay? Now, in the case of Afghan, I don't want to believe that leaving Afghanistan was in the best interest of the US. I truly don't want to.
In a
because
humanitarian sense.
in a humanitarian sense.
But America don't do anything in
Exactly.
humanitarian
They don't do anything
conscience.
without checking their interests, right?
Yes.
And I believe their capital interest in the country that is Afghanistan were extremely high. Okay. Now
Their capital interest.
Yes.
They spent trillions.
They spent
They
trillions.
claim they spent
and
trillions.
I'm sure they got back
By far,
just
by far,
the same.
by far.
Just the same.
No, I think they
because
got a lot more out.
Exactly.
And now there's nothing more to get out
There's
of
nothing more to
Afghanistan.
get.
It's time
Eh,
to fuck off.
Exactly. And when I read Trump's actions, in as much as you want to tear Trump, Mr. Soli, Trump is the same guy who said we want to bring back coal. I'm like,
to bring back what?
Coal.
Yeah.
Coal.
Yeah. Okay. Let me summarize it as by saying this. Trump has never had a bright idea in my book. Never.
He's never
ever,
had in anyone's
ever.
book. He's a failed businessman.
He may have some gems of ideas shrouded in a lot of sensationalism, as he puts it.
I doubt there's
but
even no,
I
there's
really
not
don't
even
feel
one.
he does.
I
Now,
don't think
fast
there's
forward to
one.
him
what's
saying,
the issue
"Hey,
with
let's
coal?
pull out.
Coal
Let's
is,
pull out of Africa."
coal is environmental, man.
Let's not even get into coal because it is in no way, shape, or form related to our topic today. But my point is this: them pulling out of Afghanistan was not for Afghanistan; it was for them. Yeah, and they are trying to act like they have not been operating in the mess that is the country that is Afghanistan. Now wamejitoa kwa hiyo mess.
Yeah,
unanipata?
It was their job to solve it.
Exactly. And that's my point. Wameshindwa na sasa wamejitoa.
Si watu wameshindwa, wamekataa.
They
closed it, bro. Afghanistan was okay. Iraq was okay.
There were people who had interests. There were people who had interests in Afghanistan. Yeah. There's
Bush and Cheney.
Yeah, when during war there are people who make a lot of money.
This is true.
Yeah? There are people who it was not a justified war, because what came up after that 9/11 thing was that there was no justification to go into.
First of all, I was even asking myself, why did I don't remember why they went to Iraq. They told us WMDs, but Afghanistan there was no reason.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I have done my reading up enough.
Afghanistan, they say I don't.
They just woke
I
up.
just realized.
They were
I
like,
just learned
check
that
it, you guys are the neighbors.
we are in there with
Afghanistan
you.
was not a threat to the US.
It had never been.
Yeah.
Osama was not in Afghanistan.
So anyway,
Osama first of all was in Pakistan.
The things of international relations and stuff.
Hey, I tell you,
who study those things and they know.
And we should definitely get them on
Trump
all of
just
these
so
issues.
It's not beneficial to America. It's not in our best interest to be in Afghanistan. So
whatever those
out.
interests are.
And anyway, Obama had already started pulling out.
But with plan, you see.
Exactly.
This guy just
Obama was not the guy to come and just say,
this thing
hey,
would
we
have been
out.
done.
Catch me
It would have turned out. But still, at the same time,
the problem that people really accuse America of is that it keeps interfering with other nations and all that. But during Trump's time, he did not interfere with other nations. He focused
the same
on
guy
building
who
America.
almost launched a missile, is it to North Korea? I know, there, Mr. Soli. I still disagree.
No,
Trump
Trump
knows
was the first
disruption.
president to sit down with the North Korean
to what end? What did he achieve? It was just sensationalism. There's nothing. It came to naught.
But he was the first president.
Does it matter? Then
it's
what?
Trump, though.
He reached out.
It's the
then
guy
what?
who said you're
the
fired.
The thing backfired.
Even me, if I was Kim Jong-un, I'm like, let me just meet this orange motherfucker. If nothing else.
Yeah, for a photo op.
Yeah, I'm like, what's
let me add on that.
First,
the fact that you're talking about America just shows this hii kitu yote mmeongelea hapa inaonyesha yenyewe mmesahau shida zenu za hii country.
Tulianza na shida zetu.
Tunaweza saizi to discuss our history books ziko na ma-presidents wa Amero hadi UK na nini na nini. Kila kitu hiyo, the fact that tunaongelea kitu at the end of the day ni is US interfering with other countries or not?
It is.
Actually,
it is.
not
Then
even
that's
that.
the only thing.
Diesel.
Tusikuja ati nani haku interfere,
The
nani
thing that we are discussing here is that Kenyans working in Afghanistan are to be evacuated by the
by the
employers.
government, by the employers.
Evacuated.
Bado.
Wakuje Kenya, we need those numbers. Tukuje tuambie leaders wetu what is needed. Mnafanya nini Afghanistan?
If they're being evacuated with a gag order.
Yeah, bro. Huko kwenu. Rudini kwenu. Tuongene tu kweli.
Kenyans need to stop.
Not even that. I'm like, there are people earning a living in Afghan.
Look,
who gives a shit?
They
Kama una earn a living huko.
They do, but
then wabaki huko.
They are Kenyans.
If they are Kenyans, bro, huyo mtu ameenda Afghanistan amekusaidia nini?
He's not helping me.
Bas, exactly.
Mimi wamenisaidia.
Ndio watu tumado hapa.
Tetea watu wako.
Hao ndio watu
sisi
tumado hapa.
Lazima tu focus on country yetu uve tunataka kuteteana. Tusitume watu Afghanistan, tusitume watu US.
But they already there.
But wako huko. Ndio hii sasa wanataka kugagiwa warudi. Rudini ama mrepiwe. Bana kujeni huku tuwatetee.
Yeah.
No, first of all,
just come back to the country we tear you.
They cannot even talk about what happened there because the government of Kenya and the government of America have told them to shut the fuck up. Don't talk about it.
Kujeni.
And
Bana.
again, Dizo, the whole point that we
people
like
are out
to
there
the
because there's no work
Kenya
here.
and Somalia is because it is not very different from what we will be seeing with our own country in the coming future. Sahi, about a week or two ago, Uhuru alikuwa anaenda pale kubonga Kenya-Somalia relations. So
we need to see that. We need to see that.
We need to be very cautious of what's happening.
No. We've been cautious since we got independence, man. Hata cautiousness ndio ilitupatia independence. Unaget? Hiyo cautiousness. Hiyo cautiousness.
Actually, it's the lack of caution, but okay.
No. It's cautious. Hiyo cautiousness ndio ilitupatia independence. Hiyo cautiousness ndio ilifanya tukakuwa colonized.
Dizo.
Unaget? So at the end of the day ni tuongeleeni, let's focus on chenye tunafaa kufocus on. Watu warudi Kenya.
To do what?
Then huko basi tunaongelea nini?
No, listen,
kama mko Afghanistan na mnafukuzwa,
the bigger story
tunaingilia aje?
Listen to this
story.
Kenyans working in Afghanistan will be evacuated by their employers. The minister said, the government has said. Minister of Foreign Affairs. What's his name? Ambassador Macharia. Didn't this guy die?
No,
he's alive.
Apparently
continue reading that.
In a series
Apparently
of interviews, Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Ambassador Macharia Kamau said that the Kenyan government has no officials in Afghanistan, but there are Kenyans working for international organizations, including companies providing security. Kamau is also quoted in the press. Firstly, Kenya has neither diplomatic presence nor accreditation to Afghanistan. Secondly, the country has been unstable for a long time, while we do not expect Kenyan to have gone to this country. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what kama ni pretty much si watu warudi?
So what is the issue?
Why can't the government go and get people from there?
The government doesn't even help us. The government hajatupatia malaptops zili promise. Bro, iende kalete nini? Bwana venye mlifika huko, iteni family zenu kama muti hapa wenye wamesaidia huko. Iteni wawafanyie harambee mrudi. We need numbers back here so that we can organize ourselves.
We also need capital, Dizo.
No, we
and
need
the
to
fact
care
of the
about
matter
now
is,
if you don't
we need a government that cares
if
about
right here
Kenyans,
you cannot
bro.
get a job and
That
you have
is
to
why-
go all the way to Afghan to earn your living.
No,
and now
and
you
the-
have been forced because of the
And the government says, fuck
situation.
you, man.
Muti, listen to me. Ulifika Afghanistan kwenda ku earn a living, si ndio?
Yes,
Juu hakuna job hapa.
Juu hakuna job
Ama
hapa.
huwezi pata
Sasa
job
venye
hapa,
umefika
kama
huko ama huwezi pata job. Na umefika huko umerealize watu hawakutaki. Tukusaidie.
Hapana. So
Hey,
unacheki,
rudi.
that's not what's happening, Dizo. Situation ni wadhuko urimwe, yani it has just gotten bad all of a sudden.
You've gone
It has
native,
been
I'm
it
like, I
has
have
been
to
bad
go
Muti.
native.
Wewe saizi ndio unaanza kuface reality.
No,
Ndio nakushtua it has been
Because
Are
let
you
bad.
me
not
tell you.
disturbed that the government has told these guys, fuck you?
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
not even
disturbed
that.
as
I'm like,
fuck,
if my
man.
people
The government
have
has
gone
been telling
once,
me,
Dizo.
fuck me. Muti, watu wangapi hawana job?
This,
Wengi.
this,
Wengi.
Then sasa saizi nianze kujali mwenye alipata job Afghanistan.
Najali
huyo kwa nini?
Hao ndio watu wanashikilia economy.
Hatutaki ashikilie. Ni nini? Hatutaki washikilie. Tunataka leaders wetu washikilie economy. That's why we are voting for them.
But we obviously we can't vote for
Wacheni
shit.
mwenye amedecide kushikilia economy asi to hold captive. Come on man, only get job huko umeget. But let's not forget the fact that our leaders ain't doing shit. See what
Precisely, that is what the
to
story-
leaders.
that is precisely the
Yeah,
crux of it.
then sasa
What
Mr.
happens
Petembo of
to me,
Afghanistan.
government
Dizo,
does
what
not
happens
care
to my
about
family
Kenyans.
once I come back here and I am busy badgering the government and waiting for
Government
it?
Then
go and
do
pick
this,
you
eh?
up, man.
Waambie wakuje wajue what happens.
This is the
Juu
second.
sisi tuko hapa hivi na hatuna kitu na bado tumeweka hizo families. Waambie warudi to their
I'll tell
country.
you one statement.
Wajue ukweli.
He loves company.
No,
Oh
let
my
me-
God, like
This
wow.
is
For real,
Let
mimi
me
yani
weigh
for
in
me
on
right
this
now mimi
conversation.
naboeka
Please.
I can't talk about a foreigner. Cheki, I can't talk
He's
about
a Kenyan,
anyone.
not a foreigner, bro.
No,
These
he
are not
is.
foreigners.
Basi arudi Kenya tuongelee matters za Kenya. Right now
Mtamwandika hapa.
who gives a shit bro? Umeandikwa? Ni nini atu face reality? Mimi sasa niache kuargue ile part ya Raila alikuwa Nakuru akakuwa na crowd. Niache kuargue part ya tuko na curfew. Imeextendiwa sijui for 60
another
days.
60 days.
For another 60 days. Niache kwa
capacity.
full capacity.
Full
Niache
capacity.
kudiscuss hizo issues.
Na
Mapolisi
Delta areas
wanaua watoto
zinatembea
wetu.
badly.
Sikia,
Mapolisi wanaua ma teenagers. Niache kudiscuss hizo issues ati ni compartmentalize. Hiyo chenye mmesema
That one.
ni hivyo ati niende nitafute mwenye aliendea greener pastures. Man, fuck you man.
Mazee haiwezi make sense na support Dizo. Mnakumbuka wanaija wakienda kutoa mmoja wa ministers wao kwa hospitali in Germany. Why? Because nyumbani umeacha bullshit. Unakuja kujitibu huku juu huku ni kufine. Fuck you. Kuja home ujenge mtaani.
Kuja home.
Si wote tuende hosi mtaani.
Okay.
Akili ilikupeleka Afghanistan.
Siezi-
Hiyo akili itakusaidia kumove Kenya.
hata si hivyo. I'm like siwezi yote wa Nigeria because wa Nigeria pia ndio walipata kutuua kwa sababu sijui tumerudisha which one of their people face, you know. Yeah.
But you see,
let me
I'm just saying, who are you making a case for? That's my point.
Kenyans,
For me,
Kenyans.
That's
I'm making for
For
Kenyans in Kenya.
I will stand by a Kenyan, by the way.
No, I don't, bro.
On a Monday,
I have Kenyans in Kenya that I care about too. Bro, I'm going to deal
Care
with
about
Kenyans in
Kenyans
Kenya.
wherever they are is
No,
my
no, no,
point.
no, man, no. The moment you leave this country, wewe ulienda kutafuta greener pastures, si ndio? Si ndio?
True that. True.
Itafute. Ukifukuzwa Afghanistan, tafuta place nyingine. Ni nini?
Enda
Iraq.
Enda
Iraq. Ama ukiamua enda USA, bro. Greener pastures ziko kila mahali. So ukienda huko alafu uanze kukemewa huko, usitupatie hiyo shida.
Sawa sawa.
You say when you are doing good there, ulituambia una do good. You didn't do it.
Ukipata hiyo check,
ulitumia.
These are the guys. These are the guys shikiliang the economy of.
Hatutaki washikilie brother. Tunataka economy fall so that we can know the leaders we need to choose. Bana, we don't need that comfort. Let's face the reality, bro.
Izo comes through once again with his extremist thinking and
no.
Okay, let me weigh in on this conversation.
Please, before we go into our would you rather segment.
Who's lived out of the country?
Yes, please.
As someone who's lived abroad, you know, I've never met any Kenyan who doesn't wish that
angekuwa home.
East west home is always
true.
Yeah.
Facts.
And a lot of Kenyans who go out there, they are driven by circumstances. And I mean, I've even had conversations with Kenyans who tell me, there's nothing to go back to in Kenya. Yeah, you come from a poor family, you know, you either make it in the US or when you're going back, there's really nothing you're going back to. Yeah. And I can't blame Kenyans for wanting to better their lives.
True that, true. Not even Kenyans alone, anyone.
The problem that I've always had with the Kenyan Foreign Mission.
That is my point in this argument.
Yeah? You see, out there, the value people place on you is the value your nation places on you. Yeah? That is why when Kenyan messed with the Saudi one time, all Kenyans were told no more visas. They closed diplomatic. If you try to touch an American, you will feel the full weight of the American government. Yeah? The Israeli government knows where all its citizens are. Yeah?
And they are guarded.
At any point in time.
But Kenya.
Alafu sisi tukupiganie.
Let me tell you a story a friend of
mine
told me when he was in the US, you know, Thanksgiving, everyone goes and meets.
Gives thanks.
You spend with your family.
Celebrate annihilating Red Indians.
With your family. Now, if you don't have a family, you'll just find yourself by yourself.
Burger King pale, bro.
No, by the Thanksgiving, everything is closed. Thanksgiving is a big
Christmas Day.
Big time. Everything is closed.
Apart from the hotels.
Yeah. You do your shopping before, you spend it with your family. So, what other embassies, he was telling me, he had a friend who was Zimbabwean. This friend told him, look, do you have any plans for Thanksgiving? I don't have plans for Thanksgiving. So he told me, okay, if you don't have plans for Thanksgiving, let me invite you. The Zimbabwean High Commission is having a party, and they're just inviting anyone who doesn't have a family to go.
A poor country.
Yes. So, this country is not as well off as Kenya. Yeah? But he said, these guys went, they welcomed him. The way family would welcome him. They celebrated, they had a very good time. And to add insult to injury, after that, they even gave him pocket money. Yani, he felt yo uchungu yani, the Kenyan government does not give a shit
that time
about Kenyans.
That time this
it only caters to the well-off and the connected.
Precisely. And that's actually that I'm going to enter right there.
Yeah.
That's where this shit stain,
You're going to enter
this
right
shit
there.
stain called Macharia Kamau,
Mhm.
who, if you remember, last year he got COVID. The government dropped him like a hot potato. Me, I thought he had died by the way. He cried, government, wacha nini, I'm struggling, nini. This same shit stain, remember that when COVID started, Kenyans were in China trying to come home. He told them, seemingly wapeleka huko. This is their minister
Sasa
of foreign
unaona,
affairs.
unaona man.
Okay,
That's,
so-
bro, that's what I'm saying. Hata bro, soli venye tu unasema. The leadership in our government, to deal nayo before tuitumie kudeal na watu wametoka nje.
Shida ya
Unaona?
Kenyan government ni hiyo home guard mentality.
Ni
call it
kushindwa kupiga kura. That's why you're being returned to CBC
Home guard
in your
mentality.
40s.
What do you mean home guard
Read
mentality?
Kenya's history.
What do you mean home guard mentality?
Kenyatta.
You know the
snitching mentality.
The government was given to the home guards when the colonialists.
Oh,
Precisely.
yeah.
And that
And they have
mentality,
refused to relinquish power up to
that
today.
mentality, and even today, if you look at some of the key positions these guys hold, you can trace the families.
You know,
There's a guy who
the
did a
snitching
breakdown.
mentality.
Snitching.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's always, they always consider themselves better than everyone else. And I've always found that. Even Kenyans who can contribute to this country, people in government will never reach out to them. You know, like that guy, the one who built the British subway system, whatever, transportation system.
Yeah.
The guy is a Kenyan.
And look at
The
the
guy's
guy
a
who designed
Kenyan.
the London in Kenya, bro.
Ajofala.
Yeah. Then when he was asked, why don't you come and help Kenya? He said, no one has ever reached out to him.
Kudu. The same way, instead of going to...
Sasa mimi mtu kwa hata mimi siwezi mtaka Kenya.
Instead of going...
Mse haizi jituma.
Sikujituma.
It's for your home country, man.
No.
Even me, I would expect. Me,
fuck
that's
that
just my
shit, man.
expectation.
Look.
You know
Let me
this
tell you.
government, you know this country, Muti.
My leaders, mimi nimemake it huku. You know, Muti venye tunasema, ukienda kulook for greener pastures, ikifail, rudi home. Usitumie watu wa home wakutetee. Na ikipass, do you, man. Ili pass. So huu msee iliende kamwakia. Unaona? Bila government ya Kenya kumwokolea, right? Iliende kamwakia. Anarudi Kenya kudu.
No, we're not saying that anataka kurudi Kenya ama whatever.
No, I'm just saying yani ile then the government imrichie kama government yetu inajua.
And
mwenye
we have
aliunda
traffic-
hiyo kitu.
we have traffic
ni Mkenya.
problems here.
Yetu tunaendea machinku.
So
come on, man.
The issue for Afghanistan, in one aspect, I support what the government said, but I think the government should have gone a step ahead and said, okay, yeah, Kenya doesn't have diplomatic ties with Afghanistan. We don't have an embassy, so it would be very difficult to evacuate. But at least the ministry should have said, but we are working with the employers of these people and any other nations that have Nini in the region to see if we can bring back
Our
Kenyans.
Kenyans.
At least they should have made an
Shown some care.
shown some care.
Yeah.
But you just don't go and say
Ati watatolewa na
you
my employers.
deal with
Let's
your
move on to
employers.
another story.
Let's move. You know, it's just a very cold.
Bro,
and
that's
caring-
That's how the government.
That's what they tell us.
That's how the
Unajua,
government
that's what
treats
they
us.
tell us.
That's basically
Na even venye nitasema yani solely.
Yeah.
We know our government.
Yes.
You know we know our, hata
It is what
hata
it
ukitoka
is.
kwa hii country. Ukitoka
You
kwa hii
know
country.
what it is.
So ulitoka ukijua government yako ni gani. Government inaweza kudeport, government inaweza kuua. As in we know our government.
Yes.
Right? So ukienda huko have a plan
Expect-
A, B and C.
Expect nothing less.
Ita change ni. Huku kuja huku kusaidia kuchange the leadership.
There, Dizo, I actually have to agree with you because it's like saying, ati just because umeenda across borders, if we learn nothing from Iguna's case, Canada, Kenya, the government's arm is long, and what it wants, it wants. If it did not care for you within its borders, expect nothing less of it
Imagine
when you're
umetoka
out
kwa
of
borders.
borders.
Imagine tu umetoka.
Imagine you're not even within
Umetoka
within
mwenyewe because
at
the
our line of
government
sight.
literally chased you out of here.
I agree with you, Diesel. Personally, I'm not a serikali saidia kind of person. I believe the less government is involved in your business,
The better.
Better.
Yeah. But the work that the government has been mandated by the people to do, it should do.
It is
It
constitutional.
hasn't been doing.
It is
Yes.
in the
So only
constitution.
face the
man.
fucking Jav, na Mungu kwambia face the
reality.
fucking reality. Ushindo
Si
ukisema
vitu
is in the
ziko kwa
constitution.
constitution.
Ndio tunajua iko. But imekuwa
No,
ikiwork.
do your fucking
No, imekuwa
job.
ikiwork.
Me, I'm just saying the government to do their fucking job.
We have been telling them, man. Unaona dhani
Na-
wa kwanza ukikuja kusema hiyo kitu.
Tutaendelea kusema.
Ndio nasema hata kama ni kusema
Mpaka
ja,
siku moja-
tuanze na sisi.
siku moja kitu
Tuanze
itachange.
na sisi hapa home. Bana, tusiruke ati kina nani, ona venye government yetu imefanya sijua kina nani huko nje aje. Ni venye nilikuwa naongelea about Olympics. Mumetoka Kenya mmeenda Olympics. You are going to represent the country how? Ama ni reality ama unaishi aje?
You're living a majo.
Bana, ulikuwa you needed a break. And because of your attributes, you got the chance. Now umeenda huko kutafuta exposure na pia ukipata gold medal si ya country yako pekee as an individual.
Na pia kama unaweza shine unaweza pata endorsement kia Isuzu hivi.
Ama kidogo kidogo venye tunaona wa Uganda wako na maka
If Qatar can take you.
Bro, enda country yenye
If Qatar can take you, go with them.
Unaona so tusiseme, let's face the reality. Tusiseme ati I was going to represent the country. Imagine huyu mwenye amehold national record 100 meters. Hiyo time wakirace na yule mjaka, huyu mjaka hakuwa na kiatu. Tukiendelea Yego lilani hiyo kitu through YouTube. Ebu imagine the government didn't help shit till hawa watu venye waliitwa.
Not even that. Julius Yego was made the chair of the Olympic team. Julius Yego stepped down. He was like, iyo ngori mnataka mimi ni handle.
Yeye ndio because nyinyi hamujali. Nyinyi tu mnangoja senye mtu ameshinda ndio government itokezee. We are proud of what?
Not even that. Yego, I think for me is a man who had a lot of foresight. Because Yego alikuwa anajua kama ni kubaya tukiwa borders, tukienda huko Tokyo ndio unadhani ati hawa sasa watanishughulikia.
Mtu akona uniform and then you come and
jina itoke chairman na kupeana do. Chairman mwenyewe amengoja do apatie watu wake.
Uniform zimebaki hapa Kenya zilipatiwa mabibi.
Aje. Bro, let me tell you, if government, let's just face the
So
reality.
basically unasema fuck Kenya.
No, me I'm just saying
fuck the Kenyan government.
Fuck the Jubilee government.
Fuck the leadership we have. Juu hii leadership yenyewe tuliachiwa. We didn't win this thing. Tusiseme tulipata independence. We didn't get independence.
They left
tuliachiwa. Walitafuta ma home guards venye Solia anasema. Ma snitches. Hey, come. Wewe ulitusaidia ku apprehend watu.
To work on behalf. Wajua naambianga watu, why is Africa poor? Because Africa's handlers will not allow it to be rich.
They
That's
can't,
true.
man.
That's true. Actually, for me, Dizo, the one thing that probably neza sema tu wase wakairada, the Kenyan government does not care.
It has never cared.
Not with
Not since Kenyatta.
and definitely
through Moi.
not with
Right
its
down.
borders. I think
Certainly not
for me,
Jubilee
you know
government.
what I remember registering in this as I read this article. Should the day ever come and I want to go and earn my living across borders, if nothing else, let me just check. Kuangalia tu, not that ati itanisaidia, but maybe itanipea ka assurance. Yeah, let me check whether they have an embassy.
The only
Because going to a
embassy?
place with no embassy even.
Embassy would help you.
Let me chanua
Guys,
you.
as I
Guti.
said, it's no assurance.
Let me chanua
but
you.
itani assure.
Kenya.
The only good thing
Kenya
we have
dual citizenship.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The only thing we have is dual
Girl, run.
citizenship.
Run. When you get the other citizen.
Just go.
Just go.
Don't look back.
Hey, my friend.
Go and start becoming
Don't.
American on the plane going.
Guys, it's
There's
7:40.
There's a lot of suffering in Kenya because of poor governance. Yeah?
For 57
Now,
years.
Yes. If you can get out, get out.
Get out, man.
Yeah?
Like the movie.
But ujue uko peke yako.
Yeah.
Ujipange tu
Usiende huku
kivyako.
wewe na familia hao wenye unasaidiana nao ama wenye wanakusaidia stikini hivyo.
Because at the end of the day, your life is your own, and you only have one life.
And you die alone also.
You're not going to sit here and wait for these people to get their act together. If they are not, they are comfortable. They are making money. Whether they are making it the right way or not, they are comfortable. There
At
are
least
people
2
who
billion per day.
are okay with the way things are. Yeah?
Guys, so sorry, to cut you short, but it's 7:40. And 0784924 for anyone who'd like to call in before we finish. Want to get into the 21 questions. And today there are literally only 4. I wanted to say 2, but of the 21, I think we have 4. Yeah. Since we are on IR matters, international relations, would you rather spend a day with Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, or Kim Jong-un? Who and why? This I want to start with you.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
Hey, please.
Jamaa
amefukuza paka maspy. Yani unajua uwezi ingia hiyo country yake vifala. Na let me tell you.
You have to come correct with Jong-un.
Nyinyi wenye mnakuja kutoka huko nje, wenye mnajifanya nyinyi ndio mnataka kuja kusaidia country. Nyinyi ndio mnakuja kuharibu because you're not minding your business. For real. Let the people in the country wagongeshwe kwa ukuta and do something different. Unajua? Let them do something. Nyinyi mnataka kuja mnaanza kuwapatia options na pengine they're okay with it. You know?
As anyone who's seen any clips from North Korea, I don't think there's anyone who's ever
and me I don't even trust. Unajua nilikuja nikaambiwa ukiwa North Korea huwezi record. Oh man, nimekuwa mukbang. Let me tell you, apparently those people record. Wako di TikTok. So mbona usiseme ukweli?
Una come up with food too. Ukishamaliza kudish you go.
Zizi ambapo Amero hao ndo wanakuja kutafuta mahali imechafuka. Hiyo ndo mnataka kutuuzia.
So there's
tuuzieni side yenyewe.
Kuna story curation hapo yani. Okay.
You hao wamekuja huko ukubaliwi kukuwa na kitu, ukubali aje. Kim Jong-un all day, man.
Jeff?
I would Vladimir Putin.
Same here.
Because I want to know how to ride a horse bare chested.
Or to swim in the ocean with sharks. Or to save a puppy from somebody manhandling.
Honestly, I feel like between Jong-un and Putin, Jong-un rules through fear, Putin just rules as a
through respect.
As in, yo.
Putin is a motherfucking gangster.
On the name. Yeah, I
No,
don't
no.
You will fear me
they make us
as a
think
result.
he rules through fear, but that's not the truth.
No, he's just
even
he's
the
just
US don't know shit about that nigga.
He's just a ninja. He's just the worst.
I am torn between Putin and Trump.
Really? I would have thought your boyfriend Trump will take the day.
I would have thought so too.
No, I like Putin, man.
You mean
that
you
guy
like
has
Putin?
swag?
Putin
has swag.
Have
Have you ever seen
Putin?
Putin walking? The way he walks.
Because the day he won the presidency. Well. I need that power in my life.
Oh my God.
That guy understands power. But maybe I'll meet Trump. Nimgote.
Yeah.
For me, I think I would take, if I was going to meet Trump, it would be on the off chance that atasema kitu crazy na nitago viral. That's the only reason I would want to meet Trump. Trump anaweza sema, I grab Moti by the pussy. All of a sudden, everyone is googling who Muti is.
Everybody wants to grab.
Everyone wants
no,
to know.
Alternatively, everybody wants to grab your pussy, bro.
I hadn't thought about it like that.
Tutaanza tu hapa for 20. Nimengoja kugrab your pussy
Our
yako.
actual last question.
HR issues.
If given a second chance at growing up in the past, a child in the past, would you rather grow up as a 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s kid?
Go back to 90s straight. 90s was the decade undersold. Yani tuliishi 90s, my friend. Aye.
That was the.
Hata mimi siwezi change.
90s was
I'd want to hiyo nililand hiyo ndo
ningetaka. 90s was a motherfucking beast.
90s the last of the Mohicans.
90s was
after the 90s mumeokotwa.
Big time. We were the last ones. 90s was another thing.
I too am a child of the 90s, so I don't know what you're saying.
But you didn't grow up in the 90s.
No, I did not grow up. But I was a kid.
Your question was growing up.
Growing up a kid.
No, I was not a kid in the past. I was a kid in the 80s. It didn't make sense.
So
even that
you
music,
got
I
to
feel
be a
nothing.
child of the 90s.
I entered my teenage in the 90s.
Okay.
It was a beast.
Okay. I think as a child, as a Dizo. Oh no, you said 90s.
Me 90s.
Okay. Sorry.
90s.
90s. Hey, I think myself, I would only consider the 2000s because of the advent of the internet. I really, really do wonder what kind of kid I would be if the internet was at my...
No, we read fucking books, man. We were okay. It was all in the books.
Zilikuwa tu sawa.
They were all in the books.
The Last of the Mohicans. Now that's a real movie.
Kulikuwa na movie fulani ndio ujue yani hizo days vitu zilikuwa zinakuchota kukuchota.
Mlikuwa mnaita aje movie?
Movies zinatoka kisequel. Bro, kulikuwa na Blade.
Blade 2, Blade 3.
Lord of the Rings.
Back to the Future. Nani ameiona?
Back at the Future.
Back to the
My son
Future.
Back at the Future. They left me watching it alone.
I always just watch those movies
Doesn't
right
make
now
sense
niko
to these people.
as in watu unajua siku hizi vitu ni speedy.
Ni ukweli.
Unajua vitu zinaenda haraka, kitu
Mazee.
kinatoka leo, kesho utatoka kitu better. Kama unaona saizi kama Fast and the Furious 9. The worst.
Hiyo movie iko
ever
down,
want to
leave
watch.
it.
The worst.
Ndio sababu kuiona kwa my movie. You didn't sit in my movie list.
Wame
I
destroy,
didn't.
man.
Everything has been
Bro, in the
You've
90s,
given me a new job
movie
motive
was a
now.
movie. Bro, Chuck
Steroids
Norris.
and everything.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Commando, Rambo.
And they
That's
are
actually
danger upon
talking of
you.
Rambo 3.
John Rambo.
The best I ever watched was Rambo 3. Alienda Afghanistan, this same fucking Afghanistan. Akatoa Soviet Union, one man with one gun and one arrow. Now America, if you're listening, John Rambo, time is running out. John Rambo is 75. Karib kabla kufe mrudisheni Afghanistan atwe Taliban. Msali to Russia, USSR alone.
Yeah, we grew up knowing if there are infractions.
Jet Li.
I'm John Rambo.
Yes.
I just wanted a meal, man.
I am Yula.
Van Damme.
I think nimewaget kwa hiyo nostalgic sport sana. Itabidi tumemaliza show.
When they
Lakini
used to
kabla
make real
tumalize
movies,
show at exactly 3 minutes to the end of the show.
Uliza swali.
I hope Mr. Oh no.
Usiogope.
Actually ni swali ni moja, but kabla niulize hii swali kwa
Na ngumi ni jamo.
Na ngumi ni Torea Mwexe. Nilikuwa nataka to plug two very good clubs. Of course the first time we started off Zipang kesho.
Zipang ni
Next then,
kesho.
Cheki watu wakam we'll be doing what we call the selfie challenge. For anyone who takes a selfie with us and tags us on our social, utapata free shots on Rogue Radio, and you can take that to the bank.
Na si
Sawa?
manjote.
Si
manjote.
cheki hizo shots hizo unaweza discuss baadaye, but tunasema zile shots za shots
Ingia hapo ingia hapo YouTube, we are showing the Zipang,
the Zipang
is showing on
at Rogue Radio
YouTube.
KE. Also we wanted to plug on Friday we will be at the Gucci Lounge. DJ C Freddy will be holding it down at both venues, and wale hawajui Gucci iko pale Ellis Plaza, that's in Kilimani. You can catch us there. Offers Rogue nights, Rogue offers itakuwa zikikama at you very very much. Now for our final question, would you rather have horrible nightmares every night but always feel well rested? Yani your brain is messed up, but your body is good?
I don't care about the second one.
Or sleep peacefully every night
Alafu
but always
mashetani
feel
unamka na mashetani
tired.
asubuhi.
Amka tu na
I'd
mauchovu.
rather sleep, man.
Me-
Nightmares are part of my life.
Me in my nightmares, mi nakuanga warlord.
So
I fight all my battles. Na
All of them.
nikishindwa fly away.
unaga death scene.
Me who fly by the way.
Unaga death scene wewe.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You don't die in your movie.
So
That's
both of
funny.
you all are twisted in the head and rather have nightmares. Me, I'd rather sleep well.
Mi nakuanga
me,
warlord.
peace.
No.
Even me, I'm like,
The moment you
I-
tajad peace.
I
that's
take
the
down
shit.
armies.
that's what you need. Sawa sawa.
Nataka kuamkaga daily nimechoka. In fact unajua venye naweza fanya. Alarm yangu inaweza kuwa kitanda yangu itakuwa a bit higher. Yaani nikisikia nijiangushe tu. Boom. Yeah.
It's here.
Niamke. That's what I used to do in high school.
But it's not
Times are dawns.
It's not guaranteed, you know.
Dawn najiangusha kutoka bedi ya juu.
From the double decker.
Bro utalanda ka paka. Wacha nikwambie unataka kuanguka umie nini?
Felt like a cat.
Utarudi ujipate. That was close.
Diesel ninja.
I remember one particular
Guys,
nightmare.
I don't think we can get into the mind of this, even if we wanted, even on a good day. Hatuwezi ezana na akili ya umse.
Kuna
Mse
nightmare
ameka
moja
part
lakini
moja ya show
na
ametuvuruga badly.
ametudominate.
Badly.
Kuna nightmare moja though I had and I still reel. Those days of what's that fucking shopping center called? The mall. Ile Al-Shabaab walikuja.
Westgate.
Around that time.
Ah.
Maze niliamka sweating. I've never sweated I was confronted by some fucking Somalis, man. And they want me to say Allah and shit.
In your nightmare.
Maze waliniwachilia AK, bro. I felt
Sasa
niliingiza baridi. I woke
Murututu
up.
wa
Here waking
risasi.
up in a cold sweat. That thing has haunted me ever since, man.
No.
Sasa
I really do feel
hizo ndio
like
ndoto napenda sasa. Mi nakwambia mi nakuanga warlord. in a previous life.
Sikukuwa na mto, bro.
I think in one of my reincarnations, I was a warlord.
Manze, I've felt an AK shoot me. Hiyo kitu, it was so real, lucid. AKs, yani, the guy didn't even shoot one. Manze,
Kuna mtu alikufanya
I've never
Even me,
ogopat
I'm
like that in my life.
But I think we really do undersell as a society how much najua hiyo story ya Kenya
Ni trauma.
tumeibonga
Ni trauma.
sana, but the
Trauma is
Al-Shabaab
real.
really did do us in
Yeah,
as a
they,
population.
I was in UG
I know-
meanwhile. I wasn't even
yeah,
fucking
I
here,
know
man.
guys who were even afraid to go to the coast, guys who no longer, even to date, there's some of,
Dude.
there's a very close friend of mine who lost her aunt at Westgate. Actually, she lost her aunt and uncle. And to date, the
Hawezi-
first thing that wanafanya akiingia kwa mall ni identify exits. Now, always him
Yeah, those guys
by the way.
traumatized us
Anaingianga
badly.
tu kama ameangalia, even if she's just going straight to the supermarket, itabidi tu ame-identify exit, cut tatu, just so that in her head,
Where's the relax?
ako tu sawa. Yeah, so really do underscore it,
yeah,
and it's
the-
on that note that we want to end the show.
That was trauma, man.
A shout out, Mr. Sulinsky.
to all our security forces who work there
I
night to
tell
keep
you.
us safe.
No, we discussed it last week. Umeloba.
Kuna
They
kitu
chose
kama
the job, bro.
No,
Siwezi
they
kukuta.
chose- yes,
They
yeah, they chose the
They
job.
chose the
They
job and
still
they are
do it.
earning a salary.
Solely that's their job, man.
That's
I know
their
it's
job.
their
I'm ni voluntary.
It's their job.
And he's earning a lot of money.
I'm
from
still
it.
giving them a
no,
shout
no.
out.
Where
Yeah.
wapatie
It's
shout
their
out.
job. It's my shout out.
That is not the position of this show.
Solely
It's my
nimea Kabaraks.
It's my shout out.
It's fine.
Ndani ya
guys,
nini? Ya
thank you
army
very,
base.
very much.
They put
for
their lives out
staying
for this
tuned
ungrateful
with us
people.
and streaming on Rogue Radio, www.rogueradio.live. Of course, our socials are Rogue Radio KE on YouTube and on Facebook, and Rogue Radio.live on IG, and with a double O live on Twitter. See you tomorrow.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Juventus imesaini Locatelli. Woo!
Wacha ujinga.
Inna your face, them a smile up. Behind your back, of money, them a pile up. Try to start your business and them quick for spoil up. Hey, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done such a great job selling out with country with your business plan. Well, you forget a round of applause for all the work you're doing. Decisions where you make will left the country in a ruins, yo. Strictly personal gain you're pursuing, so the tax rate higher than the planes where you're fluing. We gonna make you deal with the IMF, knowing on a backside, none of sugar cane left. The hotels and the beaches, the Spanish them go screeching. Me no know how you do it, but all my office say is well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done such a great job selling out with country with your business plan. What kind of plan? Which is to keep poverty and unemployment on the rise. Corruption and not to mention the lies. Election and when the tension arise, so you buy with Kentucky, not to mention the fries. Anything to secure your vote, and then you rob the people to secure your vote. We go to Thailand where the Chinese own, the whole Jamaica is a Chinese loan. I tell you, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Miss Politician Lady. You done such a great job selling out with country and you still not pay with. But still if inflation was a test you would not get A+. So when me met the US the exchange rate buck, cause the dollar getting weaker and the solar light bill it would have cheaper. But a JPS you prefer keep your Ebenezer. So you Scrooge fund you get a people where you starve and every year you buy a better vehicle. The things you do are beat with bad but still you manage to keep your job. So me I tell you well done, done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down the country demolition man. Swibbly bang, well done, Miss Politician Lady. You done such a great job selling out the country. Come in like Humpty Dumpty now. Congratulate them, you know. Yeah, man, give thanks for the effort, you know. Yeah, man, enough things do not go on with, you know. But you them see it still, so we give thanks. Yeah, man. Gangster. Kabaka P.
And so it was said that the herb he provided for I and I. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. Whoa, Herb smoke, keep I sane, take my pain, stop my grain, so much I gain, so I blame. I sane, I might bring the right strain to my brain, pitch up lightning like I wane. Come on, they up on the lava grown, and if them soft like a guapa, them can't come round this part of town. Telling you the thought alone, I could have Sparta, it falter down. Revival, hallelujah, it start up now, reprisal, for the luja, it water down, a pardon, no. But they is strong. This is not a marijuana song. Cause they don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. This is not marijuana music. Just a message from the ones that use it, don't abuse it. Cause a mind that fertile, bring forth something that worthwhile. Know your worth, child. Cause no officer alive could have look in at my eyes and see what I prophesize. My mind it forever occupies. Thoughts of whole my talk a spice amongst us. If trouble come a trouble day, then my chalice I go bubble it. Drop in a one load then double it. Cause they in a me garden strong. This is not a marijuana song. Cause they don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. So me say, listen up, the truth is to be told. Open your eyes, there's beauty to behold. What is the new if you consider the old? Again the world and not consider your soul. What is the cloud if you understand the lining? Who is the king if you consider the lineage? You know it's him, so no continue deny him. Is it freestyle if I consider the line then? Configure the timing or just to fit the rhyme scheme. With no trouble to my mind really, silly. But they in a me garden strong. This is not a marijuana song. Cause they don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. Youth it's up and be free, just so let it be. Cause they don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's up and be free, just so let it be. And I let them know that the herb is a lifeline. No, they would never want you to know. And they would never want you to know. So be free. And they would never want you to know. Never want you to know. No, 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 no. Never want you to know.
Non-stop music.
Oh my God! Yo, son, you're listening to www.thebroad